Oi, oi. Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Martin Liga channel. 1414 for a copy. Oi. Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Martin Liga channel. I noticed last week my microphone was a little bit hot. So give me a big 420 if everything's sounding juicy. I don't want to be blasting people's ears if they got earphones in or anything. I want it nice and juicy for this presentation. Okay, guys? It's Flaterday, it's Flaterday, it's Flaterday. Okay, thank you, Juicy Lucy. Thank you, Romanian Berich. Okay. Squizzle. Shell Baby. Fab. And Dirt Wizard. Okay. Talking to wizards, that's what we're doing today. A bit of Welsh wizardry. It's going to be fantastic, and all of you are going to enjoy. So, let a few people pile in, and I'll give you a bit of background on what is going to be happening in this post. It's going to be good. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be mind-blowing. So this presentation actually started a year ago when I first found out about what I'm going to be sharing with you all. But it was incomplete, an incomplete thesis. I needed a few more puzzle pieces and a few more clues. Even to go to the extent of traveling to the ends of the earth in Portugal to go and look at a star fort, to look and examine the subject of slavery and occupying the slaves being moved to America and the whole narrative for it. And we discovered a hell of a lot while we were in Portugal, especially about the Portuguese Inquisition. Now, we stayed in the Algarve, and Al is like Algeria or Al Alamein. It's Al because it was Moorish. It was an Arabic place. And all of the slaves that went out of there were the quest of the Ottoman Empire. The unbelievably wealthy Ottoman Empire. Now, although they've been gone since 1922, thanks to the Young Turks revolution, the Ottomans' wealth hasn't gone anywhere. Now, they were a fantastically wealthy culture, a fantastically well-groomed culture, way before the rest of the place. The Moors, they came into Spain, introduced the first universities before Oxford and Cambridge in England. Now, everyone had a crack at this slavery game because it was a cash cow at the time. Britain, Spain, Portugal, the Dutch, all had a little slice of the Ottoman pie. Now, if something that powerful as the Ottoman Empire had that much influence over the slave trade, yet the southern American states of the Confederacy, their main industry is picking cotton by slaves. Now, who brought the slaves? We'll have a look at that. Because I really do think, and I'm going to offer a fair case, guys, you make your own mind up. It's been put together over a long period of time. So I have examined this very, very closely. And some of the things that I'm going to be saying in this post, you're going to need to be sitting down for, because you're going to have a knee-jerk reaction. I know I'm going to get a lot of wah, wah along the way, but that's okay, because I'm just sharing with you my research. So is the nature of an alternative history channel. And we're going to have fun later on, because that is the nature of truthtainment and flat earth Britishness and wiggly, squiggly flat firmness. So let me give you a few of you shouts. There's 250. If you learn a few more, pile in, because this is going to be a hell of a presentation. Yeah, my mother filled me in on the Ottomans when I was a teenager. I really didn't know too much about it. My mother knew so much, man. But I remember sitting there reading, I think I was about 14, a Reader's Digest. I was really into Reader's Digest. I thought they were very informative. But there was a section I was reading about hundreds of thousands of missing children around the period of 1900 in Britain. So I read it out to my mother, and instantly she looked around me and she went, "Oh, yeah, well, that'll be the Ottomans." I said, "What do you mean, man?" She said, "Well, they got a liking to blonde-haired people, and also ginger people, like Albanese. Not so much the dark-haired people. And I was like floored by it, and it sort of stuck in there, actually. You know, my mother knew a lot. She knew a lot about space as well and stuff. So I'm going to present a lot in this post, guys, to cover what I'm saying and what I have found concerning the extent of the Ottoman influence in this place, to know where we're going in the future. Because understanding our past is how we understand our future, because this place loops. So NA literalist. Well, we're going to talk about that in a minute. I could go into the Welsh and the Irish, but you're going to have a lot of surprises in this, guys, that, you know, you may not have known. In fact, nobody be talking about this, and I can understand as well why it hasn't been talked about. David Wyatt, because YouTube. Lisa Ann, give a big shout to Mum. Send a big fluffy Welsh loves. Cwtches, as we say in Wales. Chris Newbury, Alabama. We're going to talk about that as well. That place as well, and all of the 7 states. Yeah. So there was like loads of missing people in these parks, these public parks was going on a few years ago, and I discovered, like, when I was like looking into it, I was going to post about it, but I didn't bother. That most of the people that were missing had blonde hair. I was like, wonder why that is. So, Enslaved, big flat wiggly thumbs to you, Tony Huckleberry. I love Huckleberry Finn. It's going to be the greatest books in history. Talking about greatest books in history, this is where we're going to start. Government propaganda to win hearts and minds and sway a nation through literature is what happened just prior to the American Civil War, using this. Oh, excuse me. Oh, there it is. Uncle Tom's Cabin. I have a stinking old edition of Uncle Tom's Cabin. Apparently, Queen Victoria read it and cried her eyes out. And it tells you a hideous story of the oppression of the slaves in Kentucky. And I read it myself, and it is heartbreaking. I was crying reading it, but it swayed the Blue North into reasoning for why they should be attacking the South. This is really horrendous. This thing that's happening with the slaves. I think we should go down, invade them, and free all of these people. Like a hundreds of year old cotton industry that was closely guarded by the Ottoman Empire. And believe you me, the Ottoman Empire was super powerful. They had a big navy too, and they will protect their interests. The dreaded Ottoman will be the boogeyman. So, Isabel, good to see you. Annie, good to see you. Right, we're getting up to 400. I'm going to start. Well, I could tell a Welsh tale, but it would be a few episodes long, Cheryl, if I started to get into that. But I'm sure it's included in this narrative somewhere. Now, we're going to get stuck in. Let me just compose myself. Now, for reasons... Yeah. Wow, Scott. Yeah, right on. Well, we're going to talk about the Cherokee now in a minute. We're going to get right into that as well. Yeah. The Ottoman. He was a Muslim. The Cherokee chief during the American Civil War was an Ottoman, or was a Muslim. The influence, I think, of what was happening early on, and I could go right back, which I will, to an earlier point in time. When the descriptions of people like Theodore de Bray, for example, of the 1500s Floridians, that's Spanish name Florida anyway, in the Spanish southern states, and the Spanish were influenced by the Moors, and their business is slavery, all documented early on. And then it's just like, everyone go to sleep. That didn't happen 200 years later. So we're going to look into that. Okay. So Big Kush, good to see you. So yeah, big love to you all. Thank you all for being here. Going to be absolutely fantastic. I love this sort of research when we go in double deep. This week, and the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be bringing some big decodes, guys. Okay, some groundbreaking stuff. The thing is I'm going to have to get a move on. I'm not going to be pissing around much more. I'm doing this on YouTube. I want to be able to, get to a fucking answer of truth. And that's what we're doing here. This is what the whole idea of this truth movement is to find out and free ourselves. Okay. And the idea, as far as I can see, guys, the answer is all is mind and it's what you think it is. That's it. Bottom line. And the way out is in. That's it. And it's just doing it. That's it. End of. Okay. But we live in a material world and we have to deal with things like historical narratives and what they tell us happened in the past. But the narratives, I know, I'm going into I've got like half a dozen books I've read on the American Civil War, and none of them will give me anything conclusive. It seems fantastical that any of this happened. And unfortunately, the photographic record doesn't support any of it when it should do, because photographs have been around for decades by the time the 1860s had come along. So we're going to look at that. So Uncle Tom's Cabin, yeah, it swayed the North into action, if you like. It won the hearts and minds. Okay, whoever funded the North, that's a different story. But I'm going to show you something later on in this post. And I would stick around to the end because there's mind-blowing stuff right the way to the end in this, guys, okay? It will be absolute juice right the way through. So brace yourselves. Let's get stuck in. Mr. Marmite, see you. Hope all is well in Mr. Marmite world. Got a happy Mr. Marmite. All is well. And I want to thank you. We love you. Because you always bring a big smile and a big juicy joke to start Flat Earth British Flaterday. You always get it off on the right tune. I really love that. So thanks you for bringing the love. So let's get stuck in, guys. I'm going to be here a couple of hours and we're going to start here. Tell me if I have any audio issues or anything, okay, guys, along the way, which I shouldn't have. Today, I am Marticus von Steeleispan. The older members of the crowd will know who Steeleispan is. I can remember. They were very good. I thought, anyway. It's not for everyone. Okay, I'm going to start here. You see that? What you see here, it's a 1500s map. And as you can see, most of it is in Spanish/Latin Spanish. But what you may find interesting is before the Gulf of Mexico, which is what you're looking at there, it was called the Gulf of Cathars. The Cathars were holistic. The Cathars were completely wiped out. Why? Was the Gulf of Mexico, that is now the Gulf of America, which is now being renamed again to the Gulf of Depeche Mode by yours truly, was once the Gulf of Cathar. Really weird. So our story starts here with this gentleman here, the Egyptian, who is Kemet. Now, Kemet has a very interesting symbol, but I'm sure this is a latter-day interpretation of what Kemet would have looked like, but it's this symbol that we're interested in. This is the symbol of Kemet. What you find in here is this cross, and you're going to see it everywhere. Now, I'm telling you. Hiya, son, Lawrence Welsh Dragon Metals, the cross of Kemet. What the symbol of Kemet means, it means green and fertile land. What the cross is, if you watch The Greatest Secret Never Told, it's a map. The cross of Kemet is a map of the place where we live. And it's interesting to note as well, the owl is also being said and is on the flags of Tartaria. Here, the rebel flag, the Confederate flag. It's also in the same shape as the cross of comet. It is a blue cross with stars on it. How many stars? If you have a little count, I think I know how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 Confederate States at that time on a red background. So we have the cross, which is the Confederate flag. This is also the Confederate flag. And as you can see, you have the 13 stars in a circle on a blue background, red and white striped for the Confederate flag of the Confederacy. What you see here is the flags that make the Union flag of Great Britain. This same cross as the Confederate flag is the cross of St. Andrews. St. Andrew is Indra, and St. Andrew is an Ottoman, as I will show you later. Now, what happened with the cross, the Union flag, although Wales isn't included in it, is they put together the cross of St. George, the red cross. They put the St. George's cross and the Northern Ireland cross on the back of the red cross, the cross of St. George, the cross of St. Andrews as well, to make the Union flag. Now, what you see here is actually the 4 angels and the inertia plane and Mount Meru, north and south opposing magnets. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you'd have to watch The Greatest Secret Never Told. This is a map. There is the flag of St. Andrews with its star configuration. They have 12 stars, not the same as the 13, but still the same star circle, still the same different color, as you see with the Confederate flag, is the flag of St. Andrews, Scotland. Now, what is the definition of black anyway, according to Hainsley Wedgwood? So black, well, the original meaning of black seems to be exactly the reverse of the present sense. The word signifies pale, faded, Anglo-Saxon. Pale, cheeked, made. So according to the Ainsley Wedgwood English Etymology Dictionary, that is the correct definition of blacks. Pale, faded. This was a political statement, I'm guessing, in the time of the American Civil War. The 2 platforms. You had the Democratic platform is for the white man, and the Republican platform is for the Negro and the carpetbagger, which is a derogative term. But as you can see, they're far from, slaves on a plantation, are they? They're actually businessmen. And when you look into it, you find out that they are Freemasons, they are elites, and they are the elite structure of the southern states of the United States of America. If slavery indeed occurred the way it's taught in the history class, try explaining this picture from 1868. It's not exactly Arthur Haley, which is another brainwashing book, is it? It's not exactly Arthur Haley's Roots, is it? It's not exactly Kunta Kinte, is it? Here's some of the black elites and establishment. Some people you may know, some people you may not, but they were the ruling elites, and some of them are quite, handsome chaps. He doesn't actually look that black, Henry Peace. But James Madison, John Quincy Adams. What about James Buchanan? Looks like a movie star. Look at him. And they are all cultured, very educated, and elite landowners. And who do you think they work for? Now, is it necessary that if a black person is back in America that he has to be from West African descent? Or is it possible that he could be from maybe North Africa or even sub-Saharan? We'll give it that, and because this is where apparently the slaves come from. But the Ottomans and everybody under them, I would even go as far as to say the East India Company at this stage, guys. That would be the power that they yield. Look at the names on the Abraham Lincoln, Ulysses S. Grant. I don't even know how that was possible. His mother must have been a big fan. But they were all in the Southern commanders and the Northern commanders were all in the same university together. Rutherford Hayes, good looking chaps. And then there's a load of photographs online of not only children, adults as well. Happily, it's quite a beautiful photograph. I don't think they look too impoverished. If I'm honest, they look quite healthy. I don't know what it's like in stinking summer heat. And I don't imagine cotton is that heavy. I don't know. I'm no expert. But this is a bit like that film with Django, isn't it, with Candyland, you know, when Samuel L. Jackson is the black slaver and he's actually in charge of the whole shit. But they got to keep it down because it's all a ruse, you see. The real power is somewhere else. And, oh, I know he's cute, but he's happy to get down the mines, actually. And he gets paid $0.25 a day to get down the mines of Tennessee. And the mines themselves, the little shafts, are really, really low. Brilliant if you're little. But she looks a little bit more impoverished and dirty. But as you can see, or it might be here, I don't know. I can't tell. But they are out picking cotton. So I think it was a game for both white and black, which is not really publicized at all. And wouldn't it make perfect sense if the Confederacy was Ottoman run and their favorite slaves happened to be Caucasian slaves? Like so. Now, they reverse history, and everything that we're told is the reverse. And what if this is the case? I'm not making it up, guys. This is the flag for South Carolina in 1861. This is the Ottoman Empire flag in 1844. I'll just let that sink in a bit for a moment, shall I? Okay. The Confederate flag banner, second national flag of the Confederate States of America. There it is. Looks a bit Turkish, doesn't it? Looks a bit Moorish, and it looks very, very Ottoman. Why is the Confederate banner Ottoman then? Anybody? Okay. As was just mentioned in chat, coincidentally, and a really incredible sync, I think, is that in 1866, during the Civil War, the last leader of the Cherokee Nation was a Muslim named Ramadhan ibn Wati. So if he was the last, then obviously they preceded him and were there a long time before. Some of the architecture definitely would suggest so. What about Black Confederates? There's many books out there about them, apparently. I'm just finding. The Black Confederates served alongside the whites to fight the North in the American Civil War. Now, in the Second World War, you find that there was Black SS. There was Muslim divisions in Himmler's Guard. And he had Black SS officers. Look into it for yourself if you don't believe me. Look at this fine-looking gentleman here, this Confederate soldier. So that is a far cry. There is a movie out there with Denzel Washington. I believe it's called Glory. Fantastic little movie. But again, Hollywood, and it tells you a narrative, doesn't it? This is what you're to go with. What about St. Andrew, the patron saint of Bonnie, Scotland? Happens to be an Arab. He's got an Arab's beard. He's got a turban on. He's got Arab's hair. He's got Arab's clothes. He's got sandals. He's an Arab. The idea behind the cross of St. Andrew, he's apparently crucified in such a manner, apparently upside down too. The real story is the same narrative if you go back in time for Indra. And Indra, as you know, is from the Indian classics. But Indra is also a different personification of other gods, Tiamat, for one, who is also presented in the next configuration over and over again. And it's a clue for what the shape of the world is really. So here is a battle flag. Apparently this survived the Battle of Shiloh. Shit, shit the bed. And the Battle of Chickamauga, the Battle of Shiloh, if you know your American Civil War, hundreds of thousands of men are supposed to take part in these hideous battles. They're supposed to be Napoleonic-sized battles with tens of thousands of men being slaughtered by the armament at the time, which is pretty horrendous when you look into it. So if you take note of the cross in the middle of the cross, please. This is key. There he is, the Indian chief with his peace pipe. I don't know what he's smoking in that peace pipe, I've always wondered. Standing in front of the Confederate flag of America, the rebel flag, with a rebel yell. She cried, no, 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 no. Yeah, it's not very racist in that regard then, is it? And you have a Mesoamerican gods. Now you're going to see lots of gods and goddesses with the X symbol right the way through Egypt. Here, the X. I'm sure he's not wearing a dicky bow. I think this code goes right back. And here, you see the top brass, although he's doing a Illuminati, hide your hand Masonic thing. Let that soak in as well a minute. You may not have seen anything like that. The Confederate top brass doing business with who? They look rather chic, don't they? I mean, shake. Okay, just let that sink in for a minute, shall we? Okay. So a lot of people know about the X code. I think it's the entire narrative for X marks the spot. X is the map, the true place where we live. He's doing the X, which is a big deal with the Egyptians. And Simon Cowell, X Factor, X-Men, Space X. And the Egyptians also exhibiting the X, just like on the Confederate flag. Papa Va, Mexican classic, also in the background, the same cross. Cross of St. Andrews, what's that doing in Mexico culture? Interesting, eagle, wings open in the middle. And looks like peyote as well, which is a nice little touch. Also a wristwatch. And the hand of God, liar. He's not really popular in the British Isles, this gentleman here. He sunk a battleship of cocaine. Maradona. I don't think he's with us anymore, but there he is. You know, getting advice from above and doing the cross code. The Freemasons definitely know all about the cross code. You can see here. They have it all over there. They have the cross on the front of their insignias that they wear on their regalia to the Grand Lodge meetings, things, and it's ever present. And now I see it all of the time. Is the X code, as you can see. Thistles for the Scottish Free Rights Masons. Interesting that the Scottish free range X guys, Freemasons, have the Star of Belgrade in the background. Isn't this a communist thing? Interesting that they got the thistle as well, because that also has psychoactive properties. Brainwashing the public with the lightning bolts. We know about Illuminati lightning bolts. Here's Obama back in the past, and as you can see, he's got the X code going, because so is the nature of the Illuminati, is they like to put into consciousness the old X code. And there you can see in the past the Egyptian bracelets with the Egyptian god in the wings, always in the shape of an X. You can see it quite a lot in even Assyrian stuff. So here's Boner Garage. I mean, Spunky Spice. I mean, what's her name? One of the Spice Girls that married the footballer. And she's got an X over her womb. Maybe there's a clue with that. But yeah, X Factor, X code. Will Liam, really annoying person. He's doing the X, obviously, because of X Factor. The Freemasons with their X and the menorah there. And this one is the Evangelical Theological Seminary. Ooh, 1853, they got an X going on as well. And the keys that you will always see with the papal presence and the Vatican key code We've looked at it 1,000 times trying to decode this shit, guys. It's also in the shape of an X because it's the same thing going on. And there it is, symbol for Tiamat, excuse me, Kemet, the cross of Kemet. Also, this geezer looks a lot different a while back, doesn't he? And they cut in the Tesla narrative. You can't prove whether Tesla actually existed. The fucking evidence for Nikolai Tesla is woeful. I gotta be honest. This is the 2025. I want video evidence. So he knows about the X code too. Moving on. This is the Ottomans. Fantastically wealthy, and all of this money from slavery. Look at the style and look at how rich and cultured they were when America was just apparently digging itself out of Armageddon, apparently, or just rebuilding, apparently. And then you find on the other side of the pond that the Ottomans have set up an ancient structure already since 1300, already 600-year-old. They've been at that game when the Ottomans came into power after they replaced the Byzantines, which were a Caucasian dynasty that ruled Byzantia, which was Istanbul, which is Constantinople. Here, Persian couple. Excuse me, so essentially the same, but an Ottoman couple. And you can see how fantastically wealthy they are. And the background of blood money and slavery, silks, jewels. They've even got a holy hand grenade. But you can see that the chieftain has a ginger wife. The Ottoman has a ginger wife, and you're going to see this a lot. This is a picture of a slave ship. Late 1800s, they're still shipping people out. I don't know where they're going from. It could be Senegal, it could be somewhere along those lines. But what I did notice is who's taking them. And if you can see here, it's a member of the French Foreign Legion. If you know anything about the French Foreign Legion, you can't be French to join it. You have to be from one of France's colonies, namely Algeria or Morocco or anywhere along the Bavaria coast. And you can be, and they're criminals as well, because it's so hard, you know, to be the beau geste life. We've all seen Laurent Hardy, that you forget. A lot of people leave go to join the French Foreign Legion over a woman. But the fact still remains, they're from an Ottoman country. Ottomans, like late 1800s, taking shipfuls of slaves to wherever, America, apparently, to pick cotton. To pick cotton and a pail of hay. So here we see some Tatarians. They got some cool shit going on. They look a bit maybe Asian, but they got a lot of nice clothing as well, and silks and stuff. But they don't have the same jewels as the bosses are doing that nasty business, kidnapping and taking people out of foreign lands. Let's have a little look at the Tatarians. They come down as far as the Ottoman Empire in around 1690s, southern Crimea, actually, because the Ottoman Empire extent ended just north of Crimea Peninsula, let's say that. Okay, so they're definitely Caucasians, aren't they? And some of them a bit maybe Oriental looking. Not him though. Looks like he's got ginger hair. Doesn't look like one of them at all. But what do we really know about these people? What do we really know about anything, really? When you look at posts like today, you're wondering, like, well, how come I don't know any of this? Why don't I get taught this in school? Yeah, right, because that is official history, guys. And the whole point of an alternative history channel is to re-envision history. So we got Leroy here, the king of Florida. Let's have a look at the king of Florida in the past. We've got Indian stuff going on. It's got a bit of a nasty mole condition, but I'm not sure he actually looks Indian at all. But he definitely looks a bit Mediterranean, wouldn't you say? What about King Roy? Iroy, I should say. King Iroy here. He's got loads of money, silks, and he's a king. X code. Now you see the X code all over Phoenicia. Guys, it's everywhere. You're going to see the X. And it is definitely very significant. It's the code of Kemet. Right, brace yourselves for this. King James IV and I were black. They are the black nobility. Some of them were in the Habsburgs as well. This is known. And they were very powerful, influenced, but again, under the Moors. King James was the king of Great Britain, France, and Ireland. He was a black man. And the King James Bible is named after him. He also, his only other publication was a book called Demonology. Really. King James approved 54 scholars to work on the translation. 47 worked in 6 groups at 3 locations over 7 years, comparing previous English translations of the Geneva Bible and text from the original languages of Hebrew and Greek. So the Moors, or a Moorish king, King James, wrote the King James Bible. And the English that we speak today, the standard, widely accepted English, came out of the King James Bible. So he had a think tank to rewrite the Bible. So what does that tell us? Does that tell us these words? That the Arabs wrote the Bible? Control the opposition makes perfect sense to me. It's been happening all along, hasn't it? Why would that be so different? The narratives of religions control the minds of the people, guys. They'll do any fucking thing to protect it. If they turn that energy on to just their own, standing in their own power, we become superhumans. Note on the face of this Ottoman, the cross tattooed between the eyes. The secret that is no longer a secret. The slave markets I witnessed myself. We went to Sagres, as I mentioned, this last summer just gone, and there was a slave market there in the town, more or less. Richie Blackmore. We'll talk about that in a second. And you can see that in the slave markets they got a preference, and the way they treat humanity. Now, the Holy Bible, you have to admit, guys, it really doesn't like women. Okay, it's the only way I can put it. And isn't that a trait of them? The way that they just keep women down in the Holy Bible is actually abusive, isn't it? And he's earned a fair few quid doing the trade that he does. He doesn't mind. He's earning a shit ton of money. My riches are great. I do not give a fuck what happens to these people. Dude, what? You got blood pissing out your head? What? Where? So here's a ship called the Royal Tar. And it's shipping people out to Australia at the turn of the 1900s. I can't substantiate who's taking anybody anywhere, but what you're finding is there's large amounts of people moving everywhere at this period, isn't there? And these are supposed to populate Australia. Well, don't worry, when they get there, there'll be a big massive cities waiting for them. They're already there waiting for them. Jesus, they're a bit mental on the headwear, aren't they? You can see where they got the idea for onion domes from. Look at that for headwear on these. And the big steel plates. I wonder what they do. Mind you, if you shoot at him, he's way bulletproof, isn't he? Just ping, 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 ping. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with the crazy headwear. Whew. Geez, don't it hurt your neck? So dodgy dealings with the Turks has always been going on. I witnessed this myself once. I was in Istanbul, and I was in, I guess, in like a cellar bar when I was in the Merchant Navy. And the captain I was with, Captain Norfield, was having a little fit because he was a Brit. I was like, what's the matter, Captain? He said, fucking SS over in the corner. We looked, and there was a load of old gentlemen who were ex-SS from the Second World War, because a load of Germans and SS fucked off to Istanbul and Turkey, because there's a close cordial between Turkey and the Germans and the Russians. As you can see here, the Turks doing a bit of a deal going on with the European powers. But the lion, that's the overall power. The Queen of Sheba. So Solomon the Great, Solomon the Wise, Solomon the whoever nationality. He is in the Fertile Crescent. So at some stage, that is the Ottoman Empire. But Sheba, ooh, I love these hats. I've actually won myself. She was an Ottoman, or what was to be an Ottoman. So yeah, they about 1922, they had a little last hurrah to kick off the First World War with the Black Hand, what they say was a terrorist organization. Shoot Franz Ferdinand and kick off the death of tens of millions of people. Well, they were blamed anyway. So what you see here is the ruling elite for the Philippines. For the Philippines. Yeah, it's rather posh, aren't they? Because they're like elite guys. So educated, intelligent, cultured, and all of the rest of it. It's not exactly fitting up with the historical narrative, what they teach us, is it? With the propaganda, the movies, definitely the movies. But God, growing up to watching each episode of Roots on a Sunday fucking night was absolutely horrendous. I can't believe I had nightmares. I fucking nightmares. It's worse than the world at war. That's bad enough. So this one looks a bit white. I'm not sure. He's got turban on, so it probably is. But they are big men, these guys. These Ottomans. Look at the size of his hands compared to this dude. Yeah, crush your head like a grape. The Moors of Yorkshire. Interesting this is. So it's not the Yorkshire Moors, it's the Moors of Yorkshire. You get the same with ex-Moors and other Moors. Dartmoor, for example, in Britain, it's the Moors. Negroes in coats of arms of noble families. I don't like that word. Okay, Blackmore, like Richie Blackmore, out of Deep Purple. He's Welsh, but he's also a Blackmore. And that makes sense. A black and a Moor. No shit. And they're all over coats of arms. And they are ruling dynasty. Oh, this one's got bat wings. I wonder what's going on with that. So, British families, the Moors of Yorkshire, Sir Thomas More. Shit, Sir Thomas More. Chancellor for Henry VIII, I knew that. Oh my God, wow. Yeah, of course. Sir Thomas More is a Moor. So, anybody with more, you got more. And they are very Moorish as well, aren't they? Here's some Bedouin people. Okay. Smell those Tuareg fires. Love his bobble hat. We got these in Britain. I got one like this. But yeah, they just mosey around the Sahara Desert. He's got his butt is rolly somewhere. So they're not far from civilization. So yeah, loosey-goosey, you know, I guess they mind their own business, fucking off around the desert, keeping away from it all. Perfect bloody bug out. But might go and be a Bedouin myself at this stage of the game. I don't know. So part of the Ottoman Empire was Greece, and as you know, Anatolia, Greece, and Rhodes, the Isle of Rhodes, and a few of Crete and other Mediterranean former Phoenician enclaves became Ottoman enclaves, and some of this old world architecture. The famous fez that you see, the fez, which is also worn by Freemasonic fraternities. And they're doing the X. They're probably playing sticks. I'm not sure if the original colours were purple, but interesting, there's a lot of deep purple going on. I think it's just been splurged on, though, colorization of the images. So there they are. In the past, the Ottoman High Command. fantastically wealthy. And guess what? They didn't spunk their money. They've been drilling oil ever since. And they're still fantastically wealthy. I read into the Portuguese Inquisition, and I read into the Ottomans and their slave policies. Apparently, after 5-6 years or something, they got released you were freed slave or what have you. So you see you're in Algerian dockside, getting off the ship. I'm not sure what's happening here, but we can see two ladies squaring up there. Looks like she's going to punch her face in over something or other. I don't know what the context is, but interesting. And here is your typical Berber type affair. Jeez, look at how many bed sheets are there, guys. Oh my God. Wow. Just unreal. So yeah, a lot of dodgy dealings and stuff, then just, I don't even want to think about it actually, but yeah. Their industry, So Mohammed IV, let's check out Mohammed IV. He looks stinking rich. Look at that in the background. There's a mosque there. I would say that is Istanbul in the background. What's the matter with your horse's head, mate? It's proper tiny. Check out the happy hat on Mohammed. Yeah, and he's got a saber as well, which is a Zapparoni affair, I think. So yeah, the women, they're raking it in as well. Yeah, they got so many jewels on the backs of slavery, they don't even know what to do with it all. It's like, my husband smashes it. What's he do? Slavery. He works with the British, getting them out of Liverpool and Bristol. Thousands. But black slavers were definitely a thing. The Moors. Here we can see some more black people being kinged. Yeah, so I think maybe in the last 100 years or something, there's some, they just told us one thing or other about black people, and I guess with movies and everything, people get to believe it. When the fact is, the past shows that they were elites and an essential part of the structure of apparently history. But these, they got bad press. No matter what you hear about the Ottoman, it is always scary stuff. And as you can see, I always wondered where the Prince of Corsica got his money. Napoleon. Yeah, well, Napoleon's here with the Ottomans, and he's not fighting him, is he? Everyone else happens to be dead. The Ottoman slave market. All over Portugal, Spain. Seen them, see the narratives behind them. You can feel the vibe. It's weird, and you can see the eagle there, the imperial eagle of Russia as well. But you can see the line on Arabic or Muslim flags, and the lines of slaves brought along, I suspect, along the Silk Road. Even here's an Ottoman chief in the past with his happy hat. I'm not sure if he's got a cone head or maybe some sort of air conditioning, because keep your head cool in the desert. You can see his non-Ottoman wife again. Seem to have a liking for what they haven't got, which is blonde chicks or ginger chicks. So there's that. And some things don't change, actually. So there they are having a battle. They got absolutely fantastic shit. These Ottoman cannons and stuff, and the Persians as well got, as you know, from Xerxes and Darius the Great, and a ginormous army. You can see that they're doing battles here with what looks like St. George's Cross. This looks like British ships under fire from what is Turks. The armies or the navies they could muster must have been quite intimidating. This is an image. I'm not sure where this is on this map. It is absolutely fantastic. Let's just have a little zoom in. I think that it might be North America, but if that's the case, what is all this land out here? This looks like Central America. Can't really tell where we're looking at there. Doesn't match anything in my map brain. So yeah, the extent, the powers of the Ottoman Empire, which have been kept out of the history books and kept out of the whole narrative, actually, guys. I just don't want to mention the vast hordes of Moors and Ottomans that ransacked Europe. This is Austria. They ransacked Germany and Russia. Vast armies of Ottomans attacking a Star fort in this painting. On the conquests, which were not all victorious, but they had exceptionally large armies. You can see a breach here and a battle going down here, and a last stand of some Ottomans there. Looks like they're getting their asses kicked. Can't imagine that happen too often. So I can't actually honestly say that I know what's going on here. They have really weird hats, which sort of throw me. I just don't know what to think about it. Happy hats. Maybe just like I said, it keeps your head cool inside. Maybe that's the whole thing, but overextended heads. And here's the elites. Probably going to go and count all of their oogles of money that they've made. Here's the looks like a Zouave regiment of Ottomans, and they're attacking Athens because they also, on their conquest, attacked Greece. And they didn't need to attack the Iberian Peninsula, really, because the Moors firmly seated there up until the late 1700s, when all of that came to an end. But the Moors, I believe, have a firm influence in the Iberian Peninsula, Spain, and the ruling elites of Brazil and any of them Spanish-speaking countries to this day. Here's the extent of the excuse me. Here's the extent of the Ottoman Empire in 1600. So yeah, as you can see, it's a lot of Sudan, so sub-Saharan Sudan, a lot of Saudi Arabia, all of the Sinai, all of the Middle East, Crete, Rhodes, and Cyprus, all of Turkey, all of Anatolia, Macedonia, but not this bit of Greece. So they must have got their asses kicked. And all of North Africa, all the way up to probably Algeria, maybe there. So you can see they're a vast empire, guys, and there must have been a lot of wealth going on there. And their main trade is what? Lasting right up till relatively recently, we found out. Spam me out when I found out how recently they were going and doing this stuff and this dirty business with Western powers who are also okay with the whole game. But it looks to me like the Confederates' army's power with these came to an end. I think that the North, the Union North, put an end to any Ottoman influence in America. These Ottomans are Ottoman elites, and they are in the United States of America. They are diplomats or attaches representing the Ottomans. So, excuse me, the Ottoman Empire is the earlier map, was from the 1850s. This is from 1683, excuse me, but you can see it was much vaster, and it went all the way up to Morocco, all of Barbaria, all of Tunisia, Libya, Algeria, the whole thing. Massive empire. You can see this building in Istanbul, and you can see the Roman wall, and then the Byzantines built red brick arches on top, and then the Ottoman Empire took over and they built this, and then the Turkish Republic, well, they just built this. Everything that's built in the modern day is just poo. Anyway, we're moving on. Let's have a look at the American Civil War for a minute, shall we? And have a think about this. So imagine, okay, that they want to protect their interests. They'd be bringing slaves in. regardless of which nationalities they've been bringing slaves in. They got their interests, and all of that cotton, going to all of the world. It's clothing the world. It's important stuff. It's their biggest cash cow. They didn't want to let go of it easy. They got to have a big fucking war. What you find with the Confederates is they're a lot poorer than the Union Army. A lot of them haven't even got uniforms. Some of them haven't even got guns. And what you find with the Confederates is they come up with unbelievable armament for some reason. You see the front line here, devoid of any people in the trenches. What happens, I guess, after these open field exchanges, like what was happening in Gettysburg, for example, that everyone was just dying because there's no cover. So towards the end of the Civil War, they say that it was more like the trenches of the First World War, an attrition war fought in trenches for the first time. But I bet been going on since the Battle of fucking Crosby. So yeah, the Union soldiers here, you can see this is not a prisoner of war camp. This is an encampment. They dug in. Not a lot of them have got uniforms. They have to buy their own for a start off. But a lot of them ended up in hellholes like Andersonville and other hellhole prisoner of war camps. Horror stories behind them where, left out in the open to basically rot and die without food. It's the narrative. Hell for a lot of people. This is what I can't get my head around, because I think the people of this era were intelligent. And if they're intelligent in the ways of war, is it sensible to load your musket, lift it, and shoot at someone across from you 100 yards away, or maybe even less? Because that's what they were doing, they say. They say they were lining loads of men up, and then they were shooting at one another. Okay, reloading, shooting at one another again. So everybody fucking dies then, is it? Because there's no cover. No, I'm thinking that if any general had any intelligence, you would get a shovel and dig it. It's Richmond, Virginia, and you can see it's a beautiful place with beautiful big old world buildings, Greco-Romano, Anglican churches, devastation, but a beautiful place regardless, seat of power. And it looks classical, by the way. So there's supposed to be loads of dead. You do see loads of skeletons of the American Civil War, but after they returned across the battlefields years after, apparently. So here's really set up, or they really do feel set up. The thing is, right, picture this. The President of the United States is coming to visit the camp. Are you going to leave your stinking fucking bridges hanging off a tree? Lazing around you. Where's the security? He's the President of the United fucking States of America, by the way. Oh, there will be. But you can see the hams, the Freemasonic thing. God, they look really, really dodgy, don't they? Abe? Whew, I don't know what to say about Abe. We're going to have a look at him in a minute and see what you think, guys. It's just crazy. Here's a mega mortar position, Confederate mortar position. As you can see, the cross on the hat. Again, the cross. So yeah, that could definitely do some damage. If that landed in your back garden, definitely ruin your day. But look at somebody bought all of these guns for the Confederates. You can see that they themselves don't have any actual uniforms. Not really, the Confederates. They have their own clothes. As you can see, some of the Confederate Army overlooking the Confederates, they have uniforms. But these guys on this battery, this glistening guns battery, my God, can't even imagine what that can lay down. They need to raise the gun, though, because it will hit the wall and kill everybody in there. I'm guessing they know that. Never any action shots, just preparation or after is all you ever get in war. So what kind of armaments were they using in the Confederacy? Jesus, what is that? The floating torpedo. So some wires there, so definitely some sort of claymore things going on. Huge shells. What they done? Torpedoes. Oh yeah. So the Confederates had the first apparently military submarine. It's called the Huntington. Apparently it went into Norfolk, Virginia, to go up, blow up some Union ironclads, and did have an attack, but it sunk. They brought it up relatively recently. Apparently it was bicyclically run. The narrative for the submarines and the Huntington, I think, is, to me, more controller information. I think technology for submarines precedes all of these eras. So, dig. Here's your Confederates. So you get your cannons and you stand there and you fire stuff at the enemy, and then they fire it back at you. No cover whatsoever. So that's retarded. Excuse me. That is really stupid. Everybody's going to die. I would have to say something. Excuse me, Captain. Yes, Martin. Would it be safer to dig in, sir? Dig in? What do you mean? Well, to dig below ground level so they're all killed immediately. Oh, that's fucking genius, Martin. Yeah, no fucking shit, Sherlock. Get digging in, bro. Do you see my point? So what do you do in the Union Army when you're kicking back? Well, you ain't got a uniform. So you just kick back, play a bit of cards, smoke a bit of something in that pipe, and play a bit of cards and have a little drink. And he's bringing the wine over. So never got my head around that as a kid. I was like, fuck, I tend to fuck off, me. When I used to watch Roots, I was like, Kunta Kinte, get a gun. Yeah, go fucking berserko. But it never happened. Which winds me up. I have the same buzz about the Second World War. I'm like, yeah, don't let them drag you on trains. Fuck them up. Fucking hell. Here is Antietam in one of the worst battles of the entire Civil War. Tens of thousands died in Antietam, guys. Here's the tens of thousands here. What I notice is these bodies, okay, even though that leg is really, really thick and that one's really, really thin, I'm guessing it's a bit of swelling. These bodies don't show any trauma. If a cannon or something had hit them, they'd be in bits. Somebody left their shoes, had time to take their shoes off. He looks a bit dead. He looks a bit dumb. They just don't look right. Something instinctively tells me that they don't look right. In fact, that's what I'm doing here with this historical narrative is my spidey senses are tingling, and I follow an inquiry, and I get there. Lovely pair of boots they had in the Civil War. Look at them. Slip them on. Oh, off the battle. Look at the shiny guns that they had in Indianapolis, Maryland, 1866. Let's have a look at them whoppers. God, they're shiny and brand new. They look definitely flash goods and a Mad Maxi. They look like something that should be run by the Emperor Ming himself. Fantastic. Who paid for all that then? They were a bit skint, wasn't they, the Confederate Army? But all of these juicy fucking armaments that they got going on, somebody's coughing up for it to protect the slave industry, which is just about to fall through. But not that good, the armament. They had a bit of a happening. But guess what? Fuck it. We're the Confederates. We're just going to give it a rebel yell and keep firing, which is what they did. With a rebel yell, she cried, more, 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 more. So yeah, they are, the Civil War, hundreds of thousands of people that have been killed in the American Civil War. I'm guessing they put lime on them maybe to hasten their entropy. But years after they cross a battlefield, they see them. It's like, there's no photographs. So shit. This Alexandra Gardner, who gave us a brief look into what looks like a movie set. So it was these tents. You see an American flag there, yet they're in Union uniforms. No, they're Union. They're Confederate. Oh, I don't know what's going on. In their black and white, you can't really tell blue from grey. Also with desert dust as well. You've seen some movies. So yeah, the Union Army had these fuckers. Excuse my language. These are called the Ironclads. First iron battleships in the history of the world ever, except for Captain Nemo submarine, that is. So we got some pictures of their encampment. You can see carts there ready to go off the battle, tents, not too many people. out in the middle of nowhere, which is where a lot of these battles actually happened. So this is spooky. Imagine this, a winter's day in Washington, D.C. They're going to hang the Lincoln conspirators one by one, and everybody gets to watch. Well, I think there's something more going on with the guillotine. I think there's a darker secret. Also, we're hanging. I think there's a darker secret. I'm going to talk about that on Decode later this week, guys. You want to be ready for that. So here's the deck of the Ironclads, first in creation. Apparently, mixed crew. They look like a right motley crew. So is the nature of living on a ship. That's what you look like. You get oily and dirty. So I'm not sure what's happening here in this American book, but it does say, insomuch as the West Indian Company got about 100,000 for all soon after the fortification of the castles and other strongholds. So distinct influence of the West India Company, $100,000 a year payoffs to take castles down, completely tied in with the whole narrative for Port Royal in Jamaica, slaves going through there too. Dominion Republic, stopping points, even Costa Rica, for disembarkation of slaves. So they had massive chimneys in the Victorian era, didn't they, in Charleston, Virginia, in Carolinas. Massive chimneys in these buildings. These survived, the buildings disappeared, maybe made of wood. So the Union Army, they're sausage, aren't they? They got the best uniforms. They're like the Nazis. They're like Hugo Boss uniforms. Boss. They got Boss cannons. They got Boss guns. They got Boss everything. Because they got loads of money. Because they got Abraham Lincoln. Honest Abe. Yay! And he takes money from not the Osmonds. The Osmonds. The Osmonds are Welsh. Donny Osmond and Maria Osmond, they look so Welsh, it's unbelievable. I wonder what Maria Osmond looks like. Anyway, these are the prisoners of Gettysburg. They are Confederate soldiers. They don't have uniforms because Confederate soldiers usually don't get uniforms unless they're in the movies. Gettysburg must have been hell. I haven't even got his boots dirty. I thought it rained. So, yeah, they're allowed to keep all their gear and go off and probably walk back home. It's very strange narrative and evidence for the greatest battle in the American Civil War, Gettysburg. Oh, you got Gettysburg, ghosts, mad. Loads of people fucking died. Right, okay. Did they? Lots of people probably died in this affair. A neighborhood or a bit of a block incinerated by the battles of the American Civil War. A war of extermination. A war of, I think it's about time we got rid of the Ottomans and took hold of the southern states ourselves, which also caused, after hundreds of years, a big problem, which I will get to in a minute. So there's some old dames there, holding the rebel flag. Yay! We have a rebel, yeah. They cried more, 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 more. And they had the Gatling gun that was brought out in the American Civil War as well. Turn the handle and literally watch a field full of human beings be disintegrated. So is the power of the submachine gun, which got introduced. They should have just stopped war right there. Right there. So look at the age of these buildings and the castellations on them here. So they're obviously just camping. He's not going to stay in the building. I wonder why that is. Okay. And there is a Union captain on his fine horse, which is another thing I hate about war, is the impact on the animals. The horses, a million horses went off to the Great War and never came back. This is a big alarm call for me, right? Is this? No, I get like they were all like the same nationality, you know, they're all Americans really. Cousins had to fight cousins because they were in different counties and different states. Bloody terrible affair, Civil War, isn't it? So they say. But don't worry, because a year later, we're going to reenact the Battle of Gettysburg. Really? Yeah, we're going to pretend we did it all over the fucking game. So here are survivors of the Confederate Army and the Union Army and their best broskies. Now, come up to the modern or into recent history, World War II. See when Britain won World War II, yeah, or we won World War II, I should say. We didn't have all of this going on with the fucking Germans. It took at least, I don't know, till the 1960s to all of that like simmered down after all of the movies chilled us out about the way it was in Germany right now. Films like The Ipcris File with Michael Caine. It's like, fuck, it seems all right in Berlin now. Fucking hell, they're all right, isn't it? It's all programming and brainwashing. What do we really know? So there they are, the dead of the most incredibly worst war that happened in American history, American Civil War. Thing. And this is a computer-generated version of the famous Battle of the Wheat Fields that happened in the Battle of Gettysburg. Perfume Purvis, apparently the commander stung a perfume, they could smell him a mile away. But again, story of vast amounts of people being mowed down. And then you get all of these set up little shots of people just hanging around outside the tent doing sweet fuck all. Ulysses S. Grant, Supreme Commander of the Union Army, soon to be president. He ends up writing his memoirs, farting himself and dying of throat cancer. It's a sad little tale, but all them people they had to, kill. Because I don't deny that a lot of people got killed and a restructure. Basically, do you know when Hitler went all over Europe, taking over Europe, France, Belgium, Holland, all of it, except for Spain, because Franco already was doing the fascist bit, so he didn't bother with that. But all of Europe, except for Britain, yeah, it's essentially what happened to America. You were all different countries, and then you all got the United States of America. You all became one big happy country, didn't you? He's got his leg blown off there. See what I mean? Oh, well, endure. This is a beautiful little, Connecticut type place. But it is the Washington Island over there. You can see the ferry to Washington Island. So, the whole narrative at the start of the American Civil War, guys, kicking off in Sumter and unprovoked attack. Sounds a bit like the Bay of fucking Funday to me. And then the Battle of Bull Run, or Manassas, as the Confederates call it, when everyone goes off in their carts and their buggies to go watch the battle. But unfortunately, real human beings were apparently having their heads blown off in the Battle of Bull Run. So everyone got really freaked the fuck out. It's like, what? They're actually dying. And they done what was called the Great Skedaddle, when the whole Union Army fucking legged it back to Washington. It's like, yeah, we're not feeling that battle thing. That looks proper dangerous. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. It's proper dangerous. Don't shoot shit at one another. Now, brace yourselves for what I'm about to show you next. Okay, the Battle of Bull Run, J.C. Miller, Battle of Bull Run. Okay, brace yourselves. What I'm going to show you now, are pictures of Honest Abe. Let's have a little look at Honest Abe, the Northern Presidente, El Presidente. Well, let's have a little good look at his face. Let's have a little look at his face. And he was a young man. He's a bit of a handsome chap, isn't he? Yeah? He was a lawyer. So let's have a look at a few more of young. So there he is, handsome, young, 10 foot tall, Honest Abe when he was a lawyer, young lawyer. Here he is when he's a little bit older. Unfortunately, they're not all Abraham Lincoln. I don't know what's going on, whether I'm tripping, but they all look like they're either brothers or they're the same family. Because this is Jefferson Davis. This is the Confederate president who has exactly the same jaw, nose, and eyes as Abraham Lincoln. And there's Lincoln, and there's young Lincoln, the lawyer, and there is John Brown. John Brown's party. So John Brown looks exactly exactly like, that's John Brown, and he looks exactly like Lincoln. Okay, maybe I'm just tripping and they look nothing like one another, because that looks like, if somebody showed me a photograph of that and said, who's that, Matt? Sure, it's Abraham Lincoln, Matt. Or if someone showed me a photograph of that, who's that, Matt? I'd be like, oh, it's fucking Abraham Lincoln. But they are not the same person. They are Abraham Lincoln, John Brown, Zeke Heiling. Looks like a bit of a vamp. Got a bit of a vamp buzz going on. It's got lizard eyes going on, actually. And fiery. Look at that fiery man. Oh. And he looks just like Lincoln. And here's Lincoln. They had a movie camera in there at the time. Yeah. And he's just got shot with a tiny little derringer. Jesus, they had massive guns. It was just after the Civil fucking War had finished. A tiny derringer. And Booth was there at the inauguration. He could have shot him then. And he says some stupid shit about end the tyrants, breaks his fucking ankle, and then escapes off to a theatre and runs a similar reverse narrative to the assassination of JFK. In fact, you can't even make up the similarities between the assassination of Lincoln and JFK, because there are that many, which show me that it is all a narrative. And so, look into my eyes. Look into my eyes. I am mind talking to you right now. Okay, so let's move on. I don't know what's going on in chat. Having a fog here. 731 of you. Thank you for being here. I don't know. It is crazy for a sense of mind. Thank you for being here. We're moving on. So yeah, there's a shit ton of Moorish palaces and stuff in America. We've looked at quite a few of them, but nothing better than the corn palaces. You get these in northern states too, but they're beautiful, perfect Moorish palaces. And you get them all over the world, actually. But America got a little bit too many, if you ask me, especially with the corn palaces, the corn exchanges as well, with all that money going through. And it goes through what? A fucking Ottoman building. It's not very United Statesy, is it? No. I know. The corn exchanges, that one's got a bloody swastika on it with technasmia waves coming off it, because the people who built this beautiful building knew about the shape of the earth. Wow. Wow. So, yeah, they're all over America. North America has an abundance of Moorish, beautiful, strange, as it seems, architecture. Just flick through there. Corn palaces of the United States are beautiful Ottoman buildings. Okay, that is that bit. Right, I'm going to come back for a minute, because I honestly haven't got a fucking clue what's going on, guys. I could be talking to myself, all I know. Okay, 722. Happy Flaterday, wiggly flat firms. Hope everybody's awesome. Okay, Scudder Sniper. Late but not lost. Neil Russell, good to see you. Sounds great. Good. Thank you. Thank you for that. What are you saying? Holistic media. Madagascar. Oh, that's a nice little movie. Yeah, it's cute enough. Hey, Nora. Hiya. Jason, what curve? Where's the curve? Where's the curve? Big Kush. Yeah, I'm feeling so flat earthy. Silver Sage. Tone is in the house as well. Tone. What's happening, mate? Hello, Mr. Marmite. So, yeah, I could be just like, backing up the wrong tree. But I don't think I am. I think I'm correct, is what I think. Excuse me. Okay. So what's I say for modern day, I wonder? Double flat thumbs, squiggly 3 times. And Marcia, who is flat earth zoomage. 420. Other Billy's in the house. It's a farty marty party, Lisa. Sweet Polly. See, pure breed. Ooh, like that. JT, Mr. Marmite, you all right this week? Very rude. No, obviously not. Go. Bloody hell. Well, you can't please all the people all the time, and you know, not really trying to. What is that? No matter what I do, I'm always going to piss someone off. So there's that, isn't it? So is the nature of Truth and Movement. Machiavelli. Oh, we get it all coming at us. We do in the Truth and Movement. We've seen it all over the years. All of it. Vaughn. To see you, my brother. Ciao, baby. Saying hi to Jamie. Oh, shit. Going too quick then. Everything's just blued out on me. Why does your computer blue out? Can't stand that. Not really. 07. Polly. Again, Mark from Oz. Good to see you. Good day, mate. Good day, Cobber. And Marty Nelson is watching over in Vancouver land. What you know about the beans? Shh. Don't tell anyone about the beans, man. Keep down about the beans. Spirit 7 Love and Mushy Man. Mushy Man. We have Coochie Man in Britain. So Uchi Coochie. Benny B. Jason. Okay, let's get stuck in some more juice in a minute, shall we, guys? I am 81 minutes in. Fuck me, where does the time go? So yeah, I wonder what Carolina got an Arabic flag then. It's really weird, that. Makes you think. And we've spoken internal parts of North America. Interesting. Yeah, they keep that down, don't they? What do I? Beans and magical fruits. And beans. I heard peas are beans. Peas are not peas. They're like beans. So there's that. 57 likes. What? Don't worry about it. Don't even care. I'm doing truth for the sake of doing truth. And that is it. Martin, when will you explore the ancient tunnels? Well, sweet Polly, spring's coming. Let's see what happens. Okay. There's plenty here. I got one of the biggest cave systems in Europe, 3 miles away. No, I shit you not. It's fucking massive. Just north of Cardiff, in the Gaff Mountain. I've been there as a kid, but I never had the bottle to go down there because it looked like instant death. I was like, oh, I don't want to go down there. Fucking climbed on a wire into God knows where. And I to be honest, I'm not really that fussed on underground places. So there's that. Sansi. I'm all right on ships on water and stuff and in the air. But, hit the like. Thank you, Dimps. It's lovely to see you all. Hope you all had a good week this week. Was it a happy week? I've been missing it. I've missed most of this week because I've been so busy researching and working. I have 4 posts to bring to you in the next week or so, and they're all very, very juicy. There you are. That's the real story, Green Man. Thank you so much, Lisa Veal. Okay, let's get stuck into the usage. Today, as I said, I'm Marticus and Van Steel Ice Band. I was going to go with Steely Dan. Steel Ice Band songs. But who doesn't like Steely Dan? Come on, guys. Do it again. Okay. So comparisons. Okay, well, let's have a little look further back. I won't look at too much of this book because I've shown it too many. But the books of Theodore de Bray and sort of chronologizing the intrusion into Florida, again, Spanish, see over here, maybe a couple of Moors there. They got the Frisian Maori hat on. So what kind of slaves are they collecting? Are they Red Indians? This is America after all, Florida. Okay, well, the boss of the Indians, they're giving him shit tons of drugs and money and stuff that he likes, so he's not particularly bothered. So this is the Americas, and they are obviously slaving a load of blonde, fair, Caucasian women. The question is, guys, is what are they doing there? In 1570 America, why is the population, or all of these people, so it is a distinct possibility that these people here are not from here and have been brought here by these to populate America with white slaves. Look at them. They look like they're from 70s heavy metal bands. They look like Slayer. Blonde, curly hair. But somebody's got a bit of a play going on. Oh, this is in German, old German. Never not too good with old German. And what you see is these Floridians, they're not Indians. Okay, they look Phoenician to me. They got the nose going on, but they're massive. Physically, they're bigger. They're a lot bigger. They are at least 7 foot compared to Europeans. Okay, so they do stuff like wear these hats, but I found they got the same ones in Brazil and in Europe. They are a hairstyle where they bonnet it and then they tie it at the top. So it's not a bobble hat, it's actual hairdo. So what are they up to, the natives of Florida? Well, they're chowing down. Maybe they don't know about alligator burgers just yet. Scalping seems to be a thing. Maybe it found its origins. And they were little budgie smugglers as well. Tiny budgie smugglers. And scalping. And then the smell of burnt hair. If you sniff it, you probably get high because it is that nasty. So here they are, the American High Command here. Sertorius, High Command, King. There's King there, Sertorius. Got a name just like a Phoenician. He's got feathers. But he's not exactly a red Indian, is he? You know, it's like he's got a big clock on his chest. But you see all these people, they can raise a little army, okay? Under the bequesteth of the Spanish, who got guns and bigger armies. And then they tried to take them on. And guess what happened, guys? Yeah, it didn't end well for them. I find it fascinating that they knew about European black magic, you know, with the circle wheel, like Francis Bacon-y sort of thing. So they're using like that sort of, I don't know what you could call it, European. Maybe it's not got its origins there. Interesting, these steel chest plates. I wonder what they do. Protect your organs, maybe, just like armor. But I don't think they're buddying up. I think there's a bit of what do you know? I don't know anything, and they keep hurting you until you actually come up with something. I think there's a clue there. So they have a little ayahuasca ceremony. If I can imagine the Europeans got right into that. So mix these two together. You drink that. Throw your tits up, and then well, then it's little spacemen everywhere, things. So first thing you do, knock up a star fort. But you get the locals to do it because you're not going to do it. It's like, what happens if I don't build you a star fort? See, this year, it's just going to zap you. This is the biggest fascist you've ever seen in your life. This is one thing that we wield over you. And as you can see, you know, hitting the floor, all hail the obelisk. It's a bit like Stanley Kubrick's obelisk, isn't it? Touch it and then you can build a spaceship. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, moving on. So I think it's been going on time immemorial, and I think that I'm right. And I think this statement is correct. You see the same statement in the book 1984. The first step in liquidating a people is to erase its memory, destroy its books, its culture, its history, then have somebody rewrite the books, manufacture a new culture, invent a new history. Before long, the nation will begin to forget what it is and what it was. The struggle of man against power is the struggle of memory against forgetting. That was from Mitochondria, which I love because I think that's what it is. You know, these goose pimples that I get on my channel and these memories that come back. Man, oh man, oh man, what we were before this. We were all mystics, sages. We had supernatural powers, psychic. We had it all. And then, fall of man. But I wouldn't worry about it because we're definitely, because of the nature and the flip-floppy, loopy nature of this place, we get it all back, which is absolutely fantastic news. But you've got to break through the old ways of thinking. Religion, my God, how disastrous to humanity was religion, based on all visible things. And then if something in your reality changes, you blame the invisible things, because it couldn't possibly be you that did it. That would be impossible, wouldn't it? Anyway, what we're looking at here is a site in Sicily. There was actually a Greek site. And we're going to look at the fall of what was the Greek Empire in this site, which is Selimitou. And it is phenomenally big. I just can't get over the size. It had to be built by giants, guys. Look at these guys, and they're sat on columns. So antique man chiseled them out, stood them upright. Chiseled them out and stood them upright. How would you... Selenuti in Sicily. I love Sicily. I had a great time there. They're completely different to the Italians, and they do not want to be regarded as Italians either. It's where you get Don Corleone, you owe me a favor, comes from, isn't it? I think I went into a bar once in where was that? Syracuse, and I think it was full of mafia. They're all right. They don't mind me. I'm British, innit? Fucking hell. We invented gangsters, dude. Yeah, we did. So, who the fuck chiseled these out of stone, carried them all the way here, and then put them upright, one on top of the other, in the antique world? I wonder how they do that with the power of their brains, I think. They just float that fucker in. Yeah. I think that's what's going on. So yeah, it's a bit like Westworld to me. You see these sites, they're just like, oh, that was another thing they did here in Sim. They just had like another world. They had all like toga people and probably advanced technology in my head, but they're building all of this shit. So I think it's safe to presume. Look at the walls. Looks like puka. Then jointless, beautiful built walls that we see. And massive megalithic structures. Now, these don't even look Greek, but somebody, chiseled up that coin there, put this stone on top. But it all actually ended this civilization. Something really, really bad happened. I think if it's in the vicinity of, Sicily, I think for sure it was the Santorini event. I think it wrecked the world. I think it definitely wrecked the Mediterranean. The Santorini event. See, Britain apparently had loads of earthquakes, but we don't anymore. It's really weird. But you look back, and there's stacks of buildings in British history. It's like, oh, that fell over in an earthquake. Like Glastonbury Tor, for example, St. Michael's Church. It's like, oh yeah, it all fell over in an earthquake, but there's only the tower left. It's like, what earthquake? What fucking earthquake are we talking about? Look at that. Imagine the scale of the event to do that. See, I'm not putting it down to 4,000 years of just shit and entropy. I just, no. And then there's the mystery of carrying these things. What is that? That looks like the cap of something. Is that an underground place? Look at that. That's one stone. That is. I wonder what that is. I wonder if we lift it up, there'd be a bunker. Huge silo. Full of cannabis plants. So, maybe not, but that's the first thing my mind had to see. Wow, it was a really big site, this place. Boggles the mind, all of the, the artistry and all of their decoration and column tops as well. They got them up the top. Amazing, amazing. But they had loads of slaves. Pay them in GAT, and they'll get working. If that's what they have in this part of the world, I doubt it though. Beetle nut. But yeah, the world's surely got messed up. There's no doubt about that. Especially the classical world. A massive site. There's long roads as well. It's not one I've ever heard of before this week. Jesus, there's a column on top of that column, is it? The size of these temples as well. That one was called the Temple of Jupiter, and there was another one called the Temple of Bacchus as well, which obviously is that Phoenician connection. And this massive Asian complex. I've walked around loads of these sites in my past, and my mind used to say to me, "Whoa, what a load of shit this is! What a load of fucking old junk." That's just me, though. I don't like untidiness, guys. I need to sweep it up a bit. So let's have a look at West Africa. This place I've been, I've got a mask on my wall here. I bought in Cameroon. 3 days up a river in the boiling fucking heat, and they unloaded the ship. Right, guys? Yeah, 3,500 tons of grain with baskets on their heads. I was like, so we're staying a while then, are we? So you'd be surprised how quick they get that shit out of the hole, mate. And they were like, oh, women and that in rows, stacks of them, emptying the ship. Couldn't believe it. I was like, my God. I don't want to go into too much details, but it was a shock to the nine system. It was my first time in the third world, really. And I think that every young man should be dragged into the third world. Just take a look at how fucking lucky they are in the West. So Senegal, Dakar, the capital. So yeah, they got like this government palace going on. I guess in the Spanish colonial influence, but if you can see in front of the palace, there's the remains of a brick wall there and what looks like another building that had been there, which is interesting. Yeah, Dakar. So yeah, they got some, for West Africa. It's quite surprising they got such, what you picture. If you picture, when I was a kid, if you picture Africa, it was like, well, yeah, they're all living in, this is not being disrespectful. This is when I was a kid. I used to think that they lived in like mud huts and stuff, but they don't. They live in big fuck off stone houses and skyscrapers and shit. It's just palaces like this in Senegal. So yeah, it was just like a degrading and a government brainwashing program to say, oh no, they ain't got no cool shit. We got cool shit. They ain't got nothing. When they got this, it's like Rome thing going on. Senegal. It's just crazy. This is Africa. So they got the banks on the corner, same as they have in the rest of the world. But again, it looks like there's some sort of mechanism or something missing here. And it does, again, get me that appeal of older building. Ooh, I wonder what that aerial does. Maybe it's Radio Caroline of the day. So there's two guys in pith helmets. It's an unusual name, pith, isn't it? It's too much like piss. Piss helmet. Which, surprisingly, they do hold pee. You can pee in your helmet. In battles, probably the best place to go. So, yeah, these are in like little mud. No, actually, these are the natives in muddy enclosures. So, maybe I was right. The other stuff is obviously the elites. These are the council estates, aren't they? Yeah. The camp. Oh, they live in camps. Well, I don't know the personal story, but they got loads of green bits. Oh, they got bunko booths. Why have they got a brass bunko booth in Senegal then? Is it for the little brass band, Tiddly on Pom Pom? I don't think they do Tiddly on Pom Pom in Senegal. I think there's more steel bands and Fela Kuti type music, isn't it? Fela Kuti's awesome. I've seen Fela Kuti in Glastonbury. Blew my head off. I couldn't even believe. I love all of that West African music. Sorted. So yeah, something's happened in the background. Looks like the whole building's fucking fallen down, doesn't it? Close investigation. Oh, fucking hell. There's no point asking. There was an earthquake. So this looks a bit like Europe, doesn't it? So Oh yeah, I didn't actually see any like old buildings when I was there. I didn't see anything really, just river. Fucking, I was obviously not in a good place. Look at this. Looks very like New Orleans-y, doesn't it? But New Orleans was the hub of the Moors in the Southern Confederacy. It's where they run their control from. So I have come to understand. So they got a mosque here in Senegal. They're Muslim. It looks like it was a Christian church at some stage. This has got a Christian style, but then they went Muslim. So they're Ottoman influence there. But I thought Senegal was a French dependency at some period. Beautiful big building up there. Oof. I know. I want to build a massive house on that hill over there. And we need stone and stuff. Get the stone, get a quarry, build a quarry, drag all of this up this hill and build this big house on the hill, okay? Yeah, okay. So that's what they did. Definitely. Ooh, the market, la marche. See, that's French. Le marché. I see, I speak French. See, this renaming of places, we've been doing that for years, the British. Fucking years. We were way ahead of Trumpski, yeah? Go for... Listen, we call the English Channel the English Channel. The French, they call it Grand fucking Marché. Yeah, right. Attitude or what? I think you find that it's actually the English Channel. I think if you put a measure on that channel, I think Britain got most of that channel. French got like a little short bit. So there's that, isn't there? Okay, just saying. So yeah, we should just rename everything. I was thinking just rename the whole realm. What do you think? You in? Get a map. We'll rename it. We'll rename everything. Okay. The Gulf of Flock of Seagulls. The Gulf of Flock of Seagulls sounds really good. I like that. So let's have a look at the Senegalese. They got a nice little somatic pattern going on in their church. There's an aerial there. Oh, it could be a lightning conductor. Again, it's old brickwork. Really looks like the Alamo or something, doesn't it? It's a Spanish feel to it. Or colonial feel, I should say. So yeah, they ain't got much of tarmac, but they definitely got infrastructure like pavements and stuff, which is a lot more than could be said to other parts of the world. We've got duckboards and no pavements at all. Innit? They're doing all right. Right, let's look at some images of the day. Oh, a man, Ayanda, Dragon Slayer. Thank you for what you do. You're one of my favorites. Oh, thank you so much. I'm lots of people's favorite on YouTube. It's because I've been here for so long and the OG and stuff. So is that. So. Anyway, this is a British ship. Now, once in the past, used to get shanghaied in Britain and press ganged. So what would happen? You go to a pub in Cardiff, somebody say, do you want a pint of beer, mate? You go, what? Yeah. Do you want another pint? After 4 or 5 pints, you're pissed. And then they knock you out. And then you wake up 2,000 miles out at sea in the Atlantic Ocean off to fight a battle somewhere. Press ganging. This is how they filled the ranks of the British Navy, which was the most powerfulest navy on earth. Rule Britannia. Britannia rules the fucking waves. Now, it don't rule anything. Now, can't do anything anymore because the whole culture has collapsed. Yeah, it has, because it's waiting for a new structure of society and a new mode of thinking. Until we get that new mode of thinking down, which we're achieving, especially on formats like this, then the change will come. And it is going to be good. It's going to be really fucking good, guys. Okay? That is my instinct telling me that. Okay. So, these are all kids. They're off press ganged into the Navy. Can't imagine that being a pleasurable experience for them. And they're going to be out at sea, and they're going to have to climb these riggings, yeah. Frigging in the rigging, frigging in the rigging, frigging in the rigging, because they've got what else to do. Do you know in the medieval period, I could show you about 100 images I've got of giant snails. Oh, they look like flying penises in the background. Why are there giant snails? Now imagine, I think they're quite cute snails. having eyeballs on the ends of those things moving around. It's so cute. And I'd never step on one. I'd be upset all fucking month if I stepped on a snail, me. I'd be devastated. I think it was a thing. Why not, guys? Why not? Okay, let's have a look at the Native Americans of New Mexico. They got donkeys. I'll give them that. And they're up on the mesa, and they look to be not living in teepees, but in the remnants of an older Pueblo-y sort of world. So yeah, they look quite suntan, but they look quite, I don't know, Aboriginal maybe. But they're not. He's got necklace on and stuff, but they're nowhere near like Red Indians, are they? But they got a donkey. I'll give them that. Look how high up they are as well. Not sure that is Sedona. Vaughn. I don't drink, Vaughn, but I would really do appreciate that tremendously. So thank you so much, Vaughn. Massive respect to you, my friend. So we're just going to struggle through some images of the Middle Ages, scratch our heads, wonder what won. And you can see a blonde queen with a crow, which she is trained to basically spy for her comeback. And she's learned to interpret crow and to spy, to watch her. Really weird little guy riding really tiny little horses, unless these are normal sized and she's really, really big. Or the artist was a bit stupid and couldn't get perspective together. All of those things, maybe. Right, the medieval period. Let's have a look what nuttiness was going on. Now, they always do these stupid things in the medieval period, I've noticed. Like, there's a lot of, you stay the fuck down there. You lot, smell my finger. I don't know what's going on with that twining trees. You, sir, yeah, come under my robe here. You'll be safe. Under your robe? Yes, hide under my robe. That's right. Okay, no. So yeah, the Floridians, the original population of America, don't look anything like Indians, really. In fact, they don't fit with anything, really. So these came to London in early 1900s, and they claim to be the last of the Tatarian warriors, the Tatarian Empire. Notice their chainmail. This one's got prickly chainmail all over its face. Chainmail would protect you in electromagnetic weaponry. If you Google chainmail, it tells you that it protects you, and you can buy it from EMF. It protects you from electromagnetic frequencies. Ooh, you're looking in a black mirror right now, aren't you? Ooh, if I can want to watch that. So here is Bacon with his little red book, same red book as they all got, Karl Marx, whatever, Bible. And he's got a thing in his hand, a wand. You need a wand to directionalize your chi energy and your inputs from your, deeper understanding that makes magic, because we can all make magic. We all do magic every day, guys. It's just we're doing lesser magic. Some of us do greater magic, because some of us are in the bigger game. Some of us in the biggest game of all. So it's a black mirror. It's got a little Solomon sigil in there. I don't know which one it is, but it's the black mirror. And you see these all over Christendom. These plaques are all over Phoenician buildings. The inside, that's a black mirror. They're mirrors. Spooky. Spooky. Right, crucifixion. No, they said I didn't do anything. I could go. Oh, okay then. Nah, I'm only joking. Oh, you are. 3 nails each. 3 nails each, 2 to the left. So crucifixion, big business. Great for T-shirts. Great for selling munchies. Fried gazelle nipples were rather popular. And fried octopus legs. Note, the Roman soldiers have helmets on like out of Flash Gordon. They have earpieces. Why have the Roman soldiers in this medieval depiction? In fact, every single depiction I've ever seen of the holy events is always in the medieval period, not in the Bronze Age where it's supposed to be. But it's a long time ago anyway. So we have a mage over here in the red, and she's bringing bundles of sticks. Okay. I think this might be the Samaritan, yeah? which, let's be honest, if you think about it, if you really, really think about it, was fucking stupid. Yeah, fucking with the whole next. If you carry this cross, yeah, 10 squillion people will be saved in the future and won't have to die in hideous, stupid wars over my God's got a bigger dick than your God wars, which is what they have all the time. She's doing the X code there, or they could be nunchucks, and she could be literally a ninja. So this was very popular in the old world. I don't know if it's popular now. Okay, you have got McDonald's, and as I'm sure you all know, a lot of fast food contains human bits. And some of the other things that I can't really mention on YouTube have got human bits in them too. But let's be honest, we're all cannibals anyway. Breathe, don't we? Breathe. Do you think that's air you're breathing? It's not, it's data. Why do they do weird stuff at Bohemian Grove? Okay, well, don't believe Alex Jones, because obviously that was a stupid little fucking movie. And all of the info, I think it's about the coordinate. And I think if they reenact, they say that they're doing a heinous crime, maybe some sort of sacrifice going on, or symbolic sacrifice of this elite guy here. And there's a devil here who's like doing like a willy thing going on. I don't know. And another demonic character, Signor Don Xavier Timotes, Martinez, or Ortozoko. I don't know what the fuck that is. Anyway, yeah, so they got some deities, dark demonic deities. And I'm guessing if they put their input, or they believe that they put their input into that, symbolic or whatever, sacrifice at this key node in the Red Forest, the great red trees, okay, the redwoods, will amplify the chi energy of the circle of people that are doing this symbolic, maybe or maybe not thing, and that will amplify out into the whole world. This is how they take control of the world. They go to key nodal points at specific times of the year, and they do these fucking rituals to rule us, is what they do. Helps with their magic to keep everyone fast asleep. Wake up! You've been dreaming! Wake up! So here's some medieval weirdness going on. She's doing the old X code, but these people, they don't look like they're having a good time in here, do they? What's going on? Oh, I don't know. It's the antique world. We just read that. So, hi Queenie. Hey, and let's do a deal. Freemasonic handshake. And she's got like antlers on her head. Maybe she's a northern queen. And she's got a dragon behind her. Dragons. I think a lot of this stuff is just allegory for what is going on in the inner world, because there's a universe inside, and that is all there is really, because fuck, hell. Because all is mind. You can't prove me wrong on that. So they're really weird little munchkin type things, aren't they? Go into the king. And they're doing that thing. Smell my finger again. What is he with kings and smell my finger? He's doing it as well. Guys, smell my finger. You see this a lot in antiquity. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. Oh, shit, excuse me. And here's the Tartar Knights. Yeah. Very weird they look with their fake background. But they did turn up apparently from back in the day. So back to this. So these were the Amazons by the warrior Amazons. Apparently, what do you know? I don't know anything. Right, burn a tip with a foot. What do you know? Everything. Oh, it's funny how pain makes you know everything, isn't it? So give us the data. So you see a woman's army of Amazons. They're hot, blonde, and we all know what they look like because we've seen the Wonder Woman movie. They look like Gil Gabbard, only female. Anyway, I like the way they nest their clothing as well, and the technology of clothing. I'll give that a little rehash in the near future because it is quite fascinating and beautiful. So, back to the Washington Memorial Monument. Washington is not actually in the United States. It's in the United States, but it's not the United States. It's like London. It's a sovereign state. There you go. And Washington Monument was built on top of an ancient step pyramid of polygonal masonry. Now, the original name for Washington is Rome. Rome. Could it be? Well, if you read Antiquities of America, they go on about the Tatarian influence in California and on the other coast, coming down the Bering Straits. They talk about Sumer, they talk about Egyptians, they talk about the old world being not the old, the new world being the old world. But look at this old masonry and stonage that is under the Washington, Monument. And it really does look like a pyramid. 1, 2, 3, the steps going up. You see pyramids identical to this in, if I can just bring that down there. In, in Mexico. It astounds me that Mexico got all of these pyramids and, Central America, Southern America. Yeah, well, they stop dead when you get to the United States. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Removed them all. But I think that's a pyramid and they built it on top of. Interesting, they peaked or topped this with aluminium because at the time it was worth more than gold because they weren't mass producing aluminum back then. So imagine the classical world, smelling of flowers, fine things, but you can see that they're deities. Slightly demonic deities, the Syrian deities with tech, Zoroastrianism, magic, dark arts. I think that's where it went wrong for Tataria. I think that these magical arts was practiced by every person. But I think the Phoenicians, they took it, they corrupted it, and they used it to say magic to control the minds of everybody. God Almighty, I literally fantasize about what we could really be if we could just peel back these layers of control and find out what we truly are. Just a miracle. So yeah, this could happen in the medieval period. Deep baggage from under the ground. The ground is not safe. Deep baggage. So my last post to talk about the Noah's Arks being pyramids, and I hope you have watched that video because there's a lot of, I'm going to sneeze. Important decodes coming later, and you may not need to watch that because it'll be all interconnected. For you to follow this saga, the Ark of the Covenant in the medieval period, following medieval knights. Now, apparently the dimensions for the Ark of the Covenant fit exactly in the esophagus that's in the center of the Great Pyramid of Giza, making it an entire gadget. I bet that was his power source for when it was Noah's Ark. In fact, I think we're still in Noah's Ark. I think we're in a boat. I think we're in a vessel. These are the ladies of the stools, okay? And if you don't arrange the stools in a necessary pattern, this old lady with one leg smacks you in the head with a crutch. Crutchy, they call her. Oh, here's Crutchy. Get them stools right. Now, what they really meant was poo, but they thought stools. No, rearrange your stools. Thought you meant stools. Yeah, I know it's confusing the English language, isn't it? You get a lot of rudeness in the medieval period as well, I've noticed. These three are really unusually close. In fact, they're touching, aren't they? Yeah. I don't do that shit. Yeah. I nearly had a fight on a bus in Italy over that shit. This guy was literally bombarding my space with his newspaper. I fucking cracked. I scrunched his newspaper up into a small little ball and was just like, dude, I'm going to fucking have to kill you if you don't fuck off with that. You're going to take my space thing going on. Don't touch your elbow with my elbow, Buzz. Yeah? Anyway, he was very polite after. He gave me directions. See, that just doesn't work with me. None of that mentality will work because I will fucking call it out every single time. So here are the people who live in the north. And this is Olaf Johnson and his dad. And they went to meet the giants that live in the north. and I love it. I want it to be true. All is mind. For me, they're there now. They're watching Flat Earth British on their North Polian widescreen tellies. So yeah, the Byzantines, well, they got their asses kicked, didn't they? And this is the emperor of 3rd century Byzantia in Europe. You can see he's fully Romanesque with his Roman purplery, and he's got the Satan's, because the sun is Satan, Satan's sun rays, and he looks very, very, very Phoenician, because the Byzantines were a Phoenician race, and they got replaced by the Ottomans, who initially came from Persia. So Johannes, John, here he is, John, and John the Bappo, as they call him to his friends, yeah, he's got the holy hand grenade. Once you've got that holy hand grenade, yeah, world's your oyster. Nobody's gonna fuck with you. Waiting for dinner in the medieval period. It was a funny old business, it was. Do you mind if you just add a little bit more pepper and salt? I need more seasoning. Said nobody ever. So why would they? Why would they put these into documents in antiquity? Did these exist? So there's people going down a well, a load of flaming stuff going on. Don't know the narrative. A lot of killery going on here. But giant lizards that eat other things' heads, and they're literally doing like badger baiting with giants. A giant got to go and fight whatever that is, a moose and a camel. I bet you couldn't fight a moose and a camel. I know I couldn't. So you'd have to be big. Why would they do that? Somebody tripping, writing a narrative. So yeah, lifting shit into place in antiquity. Yeah. So balloons are proper simple, aren't they? So do you know them Egyptians floating up and down with their jet power source in the Nile? Do you think they never had the know-all, right? To shit. Do you know the way our sail fills up? It's like, yeah. Well, if we made that like a windsock, tied the end, yeah, it would be a balloon with hot air. You mean it will go up? Yeah, we can get in it. I can't imagine all of these ancient civilizations being that dozy as not to get a balloon in the air. I think they had balloons. I think a lot of the antique world could have been put in place with balloons. As is showing you here, what looks like outside the Louvre, they're putting a Zeppelin is putting a Egyptian obelisk into place. That looks like the planes, another Zeppelin's getting involved with a bit of it as well. So yeah, definitely think that's a really good idea. I should do that. Right then, let's have a look at this medieval picture and see what's going on in these two castles adjacent to one another. Okay. What's that then? Between the two towers, does it come in for a charge? It appears that in this medieval document, there is a flying ship with a sort of umbrella or nay parachute. What is it doing there? One can only presume that they had flying ships in the medieval period. One can only assume. Who even knows? Mermaids. So what's the deal, guys? So you just like literally in the old days, but they're not everywhere now in the sea. You go out in your boat, we bros, yeah, do a bit of fishing, whatever, and a ton of women show up in the water. Yeah? Fucking hell. No wonder people are fishing all the time. Amazing. So what happens to the trash of this place that get it all wrong and shit on everybody else? The traitors to humanity. Plenty of them at the moment, isn't there? Yeah. They got carted off to the you got to do it again data fam. It's a data scramble. And then they chuck you back in and then you're all through it again. Childhood. Oh, ow, that hurt. Scrape your knee, kiss it better. Oh, teenager. Oh, marriage. Oh, life's over. And then, you're sacked. And then death. Welcome to reality. This is, I don't know, something just fell on the other side of my room and I'm getting this weird feeling. So I'm just bear with me, guys. I hate it when things move in my room when I'm on my own. Scared. So these are all down the roads, and this is in London, and they got walls attached. I'm presuming these are eventually to go on roofs, but I don't rightly know. Okay, they look like they're air ventilation things to go on top of roofs, and they get cranes to come along and lift them in place. But the walls are bloody heavy, I bet. Otherwise, I don't know what's going on. Pimp my blimp. Well, I would have not furry dice on my blimp. Obviously, that is not advisable. So, yeah, this is what happened in Britain in the 70s. The bloody Cybermen. All the spin-offs, Cyberpunk, fucking cyber security agents. All started with the Cybermen. It only started with one or two, like I said. You know, they got corner shops and stuff, and the next thing you know, you couldn't even walk down the road without fucking Cybermen everywhere. The invasion of the Cybermen. Yeah, it was sucked, that did. Still, here's Davros. Now, when I was a kid, right, Davros, okay, who is a criminal mastermind, yeah, he's thinking of doing bad things to people all of the time. And I used to be petrified of Davros. Well, not. I used to be spooked out about him. He's got a shit mask on. Wow, how the child's imagination tells so much lies. I was like, wow, look at Davros. I never even occurred to me there was a man with a rubber fucking mask on. But have a look at the Daleks, guys. What the fuck happened to the Daleks? They're melted. They're melted. Something exterminated them. We love Doctor Who. Anyway, they're going to bring it back. They did have a wokey Doctor Who, but they got rid of him because nobody likes that anymore. The whole world's gone off it since Donald Trumpski's saying, no, more stupid stuff, which is brilliant. They're having Christopher Eccleston back, right, with Billy Piper. Who doesn't love a bit of Billy Piper? For Doctor Who. I'll start watching it again if that happens. No, I can't. It's on the BBC. And I haven't watched them for 25 years. So there is that. Okay, I watched television for 25 years, guys. You know, Dirty Den was on EastEnders last time I watched, so I missed that much. So this is London after the Blitz, the Blitzage. It fucking flattened a lot of London, but it showed all this shit. There's under London. It's a massive world under London. Of red brickness. The red brickness of London. It's all under the ground. I wonder what that window was looking into. That one missed. That one lived. Oh, it's there to the modern day. Oh, funnily enough, it says Heel and Son. Yeah, heal the area. Maybe you should just write. So what did they do in these bombed out sites? Well, they just went sunbathing, had a game of cricket. Cricket is shit. We don't play cricket in Wales. Cricket is pompous. In fact, we play baseball like Americans, yeah? But we have rugby, which is like American football without all of the padding. And people die in rugby. It's so tough. Yeah. We have Mervyn Davis, greatest rugby player in the history of the world. And he had a brain hemorrhage, and he was the greatest. I'm going to cry. I just thought about Mervyn Davis. I'm going to cry now. Wales used to be the greatest rugby team back in the 70s. The Welsh national anthem. Never heard something so great in all my life. So, yeah, that's on the 1940s. Totty, they had a brilliant time after the war because basically everyone thought they were going to get killed, so everyone was bang at it, I reckon, anyway. But population of baby boomers. So there, I've renamed it. Go for well, you should try living the world. You should try it in my shoes. I got that wrong. Doesn't matter. Anyway, go for Depeche Mode. If Chomsky can do it, I can do it. Okay, I'm going to rename it. I'm going to get a map. I'm going to rename everything. Okay. Suggestions in comments for what we can rename. I was going to do like for the Atlantic Ocean, just the Welsh Ocean in big, massive black letters. But you know, most people don't know where Wales is. There's more people in Houston than the whole of my country. Yeah, in Warhella.
in the trenches of the First World War. Look at that. Fucking hell. So I think I was there in a previous life. I think I got a bullet off one of these things. I was a gunner, a Lewis gunner. I think I got a bullet in the knee on a railway line because I've remembered it for years. The way they treat these animals, though. Don't ever watch. If you're sensitive to any animals being in any way stressed, don't watch the movie War Horse. It's beautiful. But oh my God, that hero horse. Oh my God. So what did they get up to in the trenches of the First World War then? This got caused by the bloody Ottomans too, didn't it, apparently? Pudding Lane, rum ration for a whole month. Going to fry some corned beef up with some brandy. And he's reading the Kent Messenger. Pudding Lane. Doesn't look so bad, does it? Bloody hell. It's only the Germans, which are us anyway. When you get to meet them eventually. Well, we're like the Germans, the British, only with really bad teeth. I'm sure you've all seen Austin Powers. Apparently, this is a thing. So, yeah, if you're going to surrender in World War II, my advice is, right, surrender to the British. Don't surrender to the Russians. You will die. If you come to us, we'll rehouse you in Maryland or Nantucket Island with American passport and $2,000 pension. Well done for being in the German army. Did very well. So there's that. Isn't it weird how many of the social engineers have ended up in or were to do with the police or got nicked? So Frank Sinatra, so he probably got famous because he'd done a deal with a mafia and they chopped the head off of the horse, put her in a bed of the director of the movie From Here to Eternity, got him the role in From Here to Eternity, which he gets killed by Ernest Borgnine, who's a terrible psychopathic sergeant, which upset me terribly as a child, guys. I literally fucking cried. It's From Here to Eternity with Burt Lancaster. You ever seen that movie? Fantastic movie. Go and watch From Here to Eternity. Don't cry. So, Elvis Presley. Well, they said if you keep wiggling them hips in America, we're going to send you off to Germany to the army. But first, you got arrested. Okay. My name is Sue. How do you do? I've got a £250 of methamphetamine in my boot, which I just bought off the CIA. All will go well because I'm making an album in San Quentin starting next Monday. All has been arranged. So Jimi Hendrix, he's got a police record too. I got a police record, walking on the moon. And father was an admiral. Look at his face. My dad's going to fucking kill me face, that is. Yeah. Is this like, what again? I'm from Seattle. What again? He is, I'm going to get into so much trouble with my dad. Yeah, 1970. Probably all for drugs. David Bowie, stoic as fuck. Couldn't give a shit about everything because he's so intellectually superior to the rest of us, you see. So he got nicked. So another one got nicked. Mick Jagger. I think he got nicked in Japan with a spliff, or was that Paul McCartney? Anyway, probably a spliff in 72. Jagger couldn't give a shit because he's like literally the Queen's bastard grandkid or something. So Joppy, when she was young, she got nicked in Berkeley County. And Kurt Cobain, look at him all fresh-faced and girly there, look. He got nicked. And then they all end up like social engineering Tavistock agents rolling out a fucking paradigm for a world and lying like fuck. Yeah? David Bowie said, oh no, rock music's the devil's music. There's no doubt about it. And Elvis Presley, if it wasn't for him, imagine the world if Elvis hadn't been here. Oh my God. I don't even want to think about the world without Elvis or any of these characters. You know, I'm a massive Jimi Hendrix and Doors fan, guys. Like, massive. And Bowie. I love their music. This is in Washington. Under Washington, there's a cave system. And also, under Washington, they have a Masonic lodge. Under Washington. I wonder what else is hidden under Washington. Ha ha ha. So let's have a look at the Trafalgar Square and these people. These are Londoners, all in their black because they're mourning. And they'll got umbrellas, and everyone's just in their uniforms, if you like. But oh my God, I love walking around Trafalgar Square. Now, even in this day and age, never ceases to amaze me. Well, let's talk about belly buttons for a minute. They're fucking horrible, aren't they? I thought feet were bad. Years are trippy as fuck. I can't even look at a year. But belly buttons, would you stick your tongue in that? Well, it's going to be full of fluff and stuff, that one. So I had a mate in school. I don't know whether I should name him and shame him. Darren Wind. He didn't have a belly button. He had some sort of operation and they smoothed it over. That's what he said. What the fuck ever. I beat him in a fight, just saying. What about this one? Looks like a little clitty had just popped out your belly. I'm not being funny, but I would be staring at that. You know when people say to you, don't stare at the mole. Yeah, I can't stop staring at the mole. Don't stare at his birthmark. You know, like in Chi Ching Chung. Don't stare at his birthmark, man. I was in Da Nang. So this one, oh God almighty. I noticed Adam and Eve got belly buttons. I wonder what happened with that. So, I'm going to check my belly button. I don't suffer with belly button fluff or anything. It's like I don't fart or anything as well. I'm just like the Queen. God, my one's not like any of them. The closest one mine is like that, but more rounder. And, you know, I got a handsome belly button, I think, guys. I like my belly button. Anyway, and they're weird. I'm sorry to bring your attention to your belly button, but guys, how little we know about stuff. So let's have a look at these trippy monk men. Oh, they're well transcendental, aren't they? And a transcendental is a byword for tripping. Okay, can't really see that or blow it up, but it is actually evidence of Suma, etc. in the United States. County of Waterloo, Canada. The seal of the county combined with the lion and the lamb. I wonder why that is if it doesn't exist in reality. We'll say some Mandela effect. Well, if that's the case, because it's definitely the lion and the fucking lamb, isn't it? So what changed? Well, the King James Bible has changed, you know, possibly browner people may have wrote, and not sandal Desdi people after all. Yeah, Desdi, Sandy, yes, they had sandals. Scrap that. Why would there be so many errors? The Lord's Prayer in the King James now is completely different. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. So God's name's Howard. Fucking knew that. Vlad the Impaler, who is great uncle of King Charles. What did he get up to? Well, he had the very bad reputation for impaling people. 1, 2, 3 impales. I love Count Dracula. It's fucking lovely. So here's France in the First World War from the Imperial War Museum footage. A little brass band of sailors. And all of these children were little presents. Don't ask any questions or somewhere. Probably refugees. The biggest refugees in history was the children who moved out of London off to hopefully Wales, because we got lovely places in Wales. Cottages. So what were they doing with the homunculus, guys? He's making explosions. No, he's filling up barrels of water. He's having a little bath by the well. It's what people used to do in the village square. While all that's going on, this homunculus is putting a bellows and a chemical into the fiery dragon. Our chemical formula, I definitely think it's something to do with what's going on inside in our spiritual journey. So does this cat. Okay. Jesus Portal Penis. It's got another world hiding. And this world is covered by water. And then more water. And then this red stuff. It's got porcupines, bunny rabbits. Okay, let's have a look at this cat. It's got sky all around him. He's the sun, isn't he? He's the sun. He's the sun. He's got a Jewish thing on the one side. He's got a serpent encircled on the other side. That's what it means. I don't rightly know. Do I care? I don't really know. So this is the design for an arch they put up for the coronation of King Georgie Kings in the 30s in Cardiff. They put it up here in Kingsway. So they designed it. They took the taxpayers' money here on Kingsway. And when I showed you the Bay of Mexico, used to be called the Bay of Catars. This is Catay's Park, our civic buildings in the capital. Catars, our centre is named Catay's after the Catars. Why the fuck are they doing that? They all got wiped out. They were fucking Gnostics. They didn't do God stuff, did they? You know, I was thinking about, everyone seems to need a drug, to get by, because reality so sucks for a lot of people. They don't know how to navigate it. But years ago, I used to get like on a God buzz with my friends. We used to go like get smoking, and we used to talk about Krishna consciousness, and we used to like literally get high as fuck on God, because there's a part of the human mind that is designed, it's the God part of the mind that is activated, that gives you that bliss, that gives you that euphoric feel when you start talking about these spiritual subjects. See that? I can release that without talking about God. It's in us all. That overpowering, beautiful buzz, you can just release at will. If you nail that, because the monks have, you wouldn't need drugs, because you can just buzz whenever you want to buzz. It's fucking awesome. 1935, Silver Jubilee, King Georgie Kings, G and an M there. But just an imitation Roman arch. I think he came through. We all waved at him. Obviously, I wasn't born. Welcome, Georgie Kings. Oh, and he was all right. Really. Apparently not, apparently a bastard, but there you go. Bullied Edward, give him a stammer. Do you know, when I was a kid, I used to go down to football, down Cardiff City, right? And we used to have streakers, like literally. First time I've ever seen a proper naked woman was at a football match. It's like, oh my God, she got like no clothes on. It would be fantastic. We wouldn't shut the fuck up about it for weeks after. I'm streaking, it's banned now. Nobody streaks anymore because it's all, because they wouldn't be able to run across the pitch, more bounce across the pitch. And the pink hair as well. Some people think it's a football. Bring back streaking, please. Yeah. Listen, when I was young, men are different to the men nowadays. I don't know what they're up to nowadays because of all these crutch grinders that everyone could just force to look at. Honest to God, when we were young, fucking hell, a visible panty liner keep us going for weeks. Yeah, it's like, oh, fucking hell, man. How things change. So we got this customer here. He's America's doughboy. He's from Brooklyn. And he's got a few bayonets, a bullet, a shell, a lovely little gun. Ooh, lovely. And a big shell and a German helmet, which he's going to take back. And he's going to show his family, look what I got when I was in the war. And hopefully he survived the war as well. Perambulating. Don't see too much of that in antiquity. I'm quite intrigued about these. Don't see too many prams, not really in photographs, but it's all part of the world here. Oh, it looks lovely, don't he? Taking his kid out for a little stroll. Let's hope a tram doesn't rip down here. No, there's no tram lines. So there you go. This is in, oh fuck me, where's this? The north of England. I think it is. Ooh. No, it doesn't say. 1850 it says there. Look at the state of this fucking old building, yeah. And the front door, right? Okay. So old Mother Hubbard, who lives in a cupboard, right, lives in here. She steps out in the morning, half asleep, flies down the stairs and dies. That's going to happen to everyone who lives in there. Makes no fucking sense. Something's going on there. Right. This is life in the trenches. Have a kip. They don't start firing until about 8 o'clock. They're a bit lazy. I can smell their sausages. I'm fucking starving. I've been eating corned beef for a month, which is what they lived on, corned beef sandwiches or corned beef, bully beef. Shit, really. Have you ever had corned beef, guys? It is shit. These are a family from Mobile in Alabama. You don't actually think of Alabama having a coastline, but they do. They've got a very small one, haven't they? Mobile is there. Mobile, Alabama. And these are Alabamians, and they live in the water. Just like Phoenicians. I wonder how he keeps his tobacco dry. They look tough. They look cool. And I like them. I like them. So 2 people have just arrived off the bandstand. They just got zoomed in. Because that's what happens, I think. Maybe. Don't know. Anyway, top hatters, have a look at these fuckers. Yeah. Oh, I want to time travel. I'm going to do it. I do it in my mind anyway. I love my little time travel fantasies. They're nearly as good as me being the lead singer of Led Zeppelin fantasies. Oh, it's brilliant. They really trip me out. Right, here's Chief Sitting Bull. Father, where did I get my name? Well, son, when you are born, I hold you up to the sky and I name you after the first thing I see. Anyway, why do you ask 2 dogs fucking? Thanks, Dad. This is the way of the how. So here's some potato peel. No, they're actually not potato peeling. This is an anvil. Nothing to do with potatoes. These are troops in the First World War, and they are Indians. Now, Indians, there's nothing more British than an Indian person, actually. They are very British. And they served, like the Bengal Lancers and stuff, brilliantly with us in the First and the Second World War. I think the Indians are actually all right. I quite like them. So here is a... Can I take your ticket, sir? Oh, fuck yeah. Please unfold dollar bills. I would literally iron my dollar bill just so you would be impressed with me. So, black is beautiful. Okay, so this is what I would have done when the gas was coming. It's like, fuck you, mate. I'm going to cover my donkey's face. Donkeys, they need to live too. Hope no harm comes to that donkey. I'm not too worried about the German soldiers, but that little donkey. I was imagining a day in the life of Claude Monet. So I imagine he's wasted a lot of the time. Yeah, because let's be honest, like, you know, the school of art that he's in requires probably a lot of hallucinogenics. What is it? Throw a load of pastel colors at a wall and it'll all make a beautiful picture of like a sunset or something. It's an impression. So fuck me, Claude, that is absolutely outstanding. Here he is in a lily garden, which he rebuilt. But actually it's there already. But yeah, Claude Monet. I touched a Claude Monet and nearly died 30 seconds later. It's a true story. You can ask my son, who's in chat. Yes, when I touched the Claude Monet, I nearly died. I fell down a marble staircase in the museum. I stay away. I don't touch them anymore. I went to see the Monets this summer just gone with Cher, and she was impressed. We got a Cardiff Museum. We got Renoirs and fucking Degas, and we got loads of Monets too, and a Picasso, which is shit. Maybe I just don't know about art or anything, and I don't know how to interpret art. But when I look at Picasso, I'm like, fuck me. I'm better than Picasso. So what I want to say about the Union Army, right, is they got loads and loads and loads of stuff. Army breakfast from the Union Merchandising Baking Company. Bread. That's bread. So they got boxes and boxes and boxes of bread. Won't that go off? Why keep bread in boxes, for fuck's sake? Keep it in a bag. Plastic. True story coming up, guys. 667 of you. Make sure you stay there. Don't one of you go away. No, not silly, Crafty Queen. I spent 2 hours looking for my cat. Now, this really happened to me. My friend's cat, Midge, my friend who's not with us anymore, had a cat called Midge. And we were drying mushrooms that we just picked up, right? Found in the field. And we were drying them on the kitchen top. They take a bit of while, don't they? And some of them were in the oven. And we got the kitchen, and Midge is just happily fucking munching on magic mushrooms. The next 3 days, Midge He's on the top of the door like this, tripping its tits off. But honest to God, she was happy. Bit different, changed after. But I've actually seen a Chihuahua on LSD. Once you've seen that, nothing's the same. We had a moment. Yeah, and minds were one. My mind was one with the Chihuahua. We literally thought the same thoughts. It was amazing. Tripping with a Chihuahua. It's got to be the best. So yeah, then Germans are bastards. You want to watch them, but they don't. Look, that's not what they're thinking. They're like, oh bloody hell, is he hurt? Oh look, we're awfully sorry, old chap. We don't really want to shoot at you. We're being made to. They say it's for the king and stuff, but we like you actually. If you got any of them bloody hell, is that hurting? Oh, let's make you better. Do you want me to kiss it better? Well, they probably don't kiss it better. Listen, they looked after one another. All of that, we ate you, you ate us, lack. It's all fucking narratives. It's just people and people. You put them in a room together, and they're like, yeah. Anyway, I don't fancy killing you. Yeah, I don't want to kill you either. Should we just lie to our bosses and have a game of cards? Fuck yeah. That makes much more sense. What we got here is a hybrid. It is a shed and a sledge. It's a sledge. It's a sledge. It's a shed and a sledge. I think it's genius. Can you imagine just sitting in there under your lovely toasty log fire? Yeah. Doing internet things or whatever, munching. And just the horses just take you across an American little street or something. It was pretty anyway. Use the Italians in the First World War, and they're setting up in the Alps to go and fight the bloody Italians. And no, they are Italians. They're not fighting themselves. I got that wrong. So they're setting their cannons, and they got to do everything like this. The Italians. I'll give it to them, people. They will like literally go hand over fist to help out in war stuff because they're told to by the boss. Have you seen Taylor Swift lately? Nobody likes her anymore. Everyone's booing. She's better off when she was a fella anyway. I can't wait to fly with Delta Airlines. I'm going to book my next ticket with Delta Airlines. Like literally no one can ever die. Even if the plane, bursts into flames and goes upside down. Everything's chocolate. Literally, no problems. I can't wait. That's my next favourite. Except for Qantas. Qantas has never had an air disaster. Hope they don't know I'd said. So, I got that from Rain Man, Dustin Hoffman. It's a famous genius. I listened to every word he said. So this is outside St Paul's Cathedral, Lancaster bomber. I can tell you everything about that Lancaster bomber because I built a air-fixed Lancaster bomber. I know everything about him. I can't even tell you about him. I know so much. Look at this thing. I can't exactly tell you what country it's in, except it has a Turkish flag up there. So, each your own. It is massive, and it's on the edge of a quay, and it will unload ships. This is what I'm talking about. Big, huge dumpster thingies. That's what you need to get shit moving. Big fucking cranes. Look at the size of that unload you ship, guys, in antiquity. And it's on the end of that bloody big pier there. They built it, took it up there, I guess, did they? Wow. So you can get big ships coming in and unloady. And then you have all these dignitaries coming to look at the big fuck off crane. That looks dangerous, doesn't it? They're well turned out though, aren't they? Looks like they're doing something rather important over here to do with its opening. I don't want to get into details because I don't really know. It looks interesting. So Norway, they're really industrious, aren't they? I love Norwegian engineering or Norway stuff generally. I love it all. I love all Scandinavian things, probably because I'm Scandinavian half. They built in this. So it's a submerged tunnel, okay, with floats. And it stays X amount below the sea level. Okay, I bet there's no curvature included in all of this operation. And it can sustain a motorway. So Elon Musk likes this idea, and he's on about putting one of these across the narrowest point, which is probably Newfoundland via Iceland to Scotland. One of these across the Atlantic. Then be able to motorbike it or rip down the road, drive to America. Fuck yeah. Please. Elon, do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. So here's the Ottoman stuff. Look what they got. Look what they got. Well, we've all seen John Wick. We know how this shit goes down. They got brilliant stuff. Loads of gold, things, stuff. Oh, it's the 1970s. Okay. And some ladies walking along in the lovely 1970s. What happened to the world then, guys? Anybody tell me? It's lost its colour, its lustre, its vibrancy, it's everything. Hope it all gets better. I seem to be able to maintain, but it is quite a trial, actually, to be able to maintain under the weird world we all live in. But I'm not alone, so there's that. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with the fucking Egyptians, which trip me out too much. Right, here's a question for you all. 678 of you come up in my comments last week, and I have thought about it, and I don't know what to think. So I showed on my last Flaterday bricked up windows below ground level, supposed mud flood. Okay, now we see them bricked up all of the time. Well, let's have a think about why they're bricked up and how are they bricked up. To my mind, to brick up these windows, you would have to do it, okay, from the outside, because if you did it on the inside, all of the mud that was outside would pour in. So these windows were bricked up before there was actually any mud there. Why? There's a question there. I haven't come to a conclusion why they would do that. My last post was about beavers. We all love beavers, don't we? Well, I think there was a race of beaver engineers, built a ship, probably done deals with them. You can see a guy here. He's coming down to see a family of beavers, have a word. Cup of tea. Mrs. Beaver. Oh, you've got a lovely beaver. Early slave trading in the Middle Ages. As you can see, long distance connections in Northern and Eastern and Central Europe. There's many books on this subject. It's been going on all along. Nothing new is under the sun. This is in America too. It's part of a exposition. I can't remember which one. Pennsylvania. And it is Moorish. You see them all over the expositions. Is this Moorish theme? So this is what's coming. Idiocracy. You won't have to get out of your chair to go to the toilet. So just shit in your chair. Don't worry. It'll fall through into a sealable compartment thing that doesn't leak any smells. This is what's coming in the future. They had them in the past too. People were lazy too then. Then you won't even have to leave your computer or go for any exercise. Oh, look at you keeping fit. Oh, look at you doing healthy. So this could be the truth of the world. Who even knows? Is it possible that the whole world can fit inside of Texas? Even America itself. Well, let's be honest. Texas is big. That is wrong. There's no such place as the Gulf of Mexico. It's the Gulf of Depeche Mode, formerly the Gulf of Qatar. This may come as a shock to you all. It's come as a shock to me that Jeremy Clarkson here, as a boy, looked like a ugly little girl. But he's got Kelly Clarkson, that hot daughter. And we're talking about Jezza here, man. Top Gear. He's a petrolhead. Yeah, but he overdoes it with the petrolheadedness and the testosterone thing and the cars and all that. Maybe he's just like compensating for something, if you get my drift. Look at that fucking bayonet. Jesus. If my mother cut my hair like that, sorry, I got my head kicked in. So on the Urbano Monte map, 1587, you got wigwams there. And you got the Tartars, but you got loads of evidence for Tartars in America in the book American Antiquities, 1834, by one of their fucking social engineering people. Anyway, What's the time? I've been going 2 hours, have I? There's still 700 of you still in chat. Thank you for being, yeah. I made spicy popcorn. Kind of dummy. What the fuck is spicy popcorn? You get toffee popcorn. I've never heard of spicy popcorn in my entire life. Yeah, let's get out of Dodge. Wonder where that's going, guys. Well, they're all going in there. I watched that film Greenland last week. It's quite interesting. It's about a comet in the world, or a load of comets, and fucking everything up, and everyone goes underground. So comets are definitely attributed to waste in this place. Who even cares? Did you know that? Colonel Sanders, another American Civil War hero, stayed literally 80 years of age. Colonel Sanders stayed from the 1930s up until when he was hanging around with Alice Cooper in the 70s. He never fucking aged. And he was an American Civil War colonel. Fucking miracle, isn't he? He was 170 years old. He had a spin-off, Kentucky Beef. I don't think it went anywhere, to be honest with you guys, because I haven't heard of it. But stay out of them. I haven't had decent chicken since I've been in America, because it's all added water, yeah. I'm thinking of going to Cardiff Central Market one day and buying proper chicken. I've really been fancying some. They got a Popeyes here in town, but there's no guarantees that's Louisiana fucking chicken, is it? And it's frozen. I want fresh. I don't want frozen shit. I don't want frozen steak. I don't want frozen ham. I don't want fucking frozen. I'm fresh. Don't fucking frozen me, man. So here they are again. This is a really interesting. I'll tell you why this is interesting. These few medieval depictions is because they only got released this week. And I've got like 16,000 books from the Vatican Archive. And this one, it says, was released this week. So I thought, well, let's have a look at what craziness. And it's France in the 1400s. So after the British and Cresby and Agincourt and all of that, they got a few problems going on with the fucking Ottomans, don't you know, as you can see. But don't worry, because they're going to have big battles. It's the French, it's the Gauls. And let's be honest, you know, they're probably going to surrender really easily. Oh, I'm sure they suffered in Verdun like nobody's business. Look at the SSSS. CCCCC. So you got these over here with the turbans on, looking a bit like, I wonder if he's going to fall for it. And King, look at the fucking conch on his, look at the conch on this King. Let's have a look at, I'm not, you know, nothing against people with massive noses. I'm sure it means they got massive other things, yeah? So, you know, good luck to him. But my God, where are you from? No city? You say that once more, I'll take you to fatty cleaners. So here they are, medieval knights, got a similar thing going on ahead, whereas them crazy Romans. I wonder what he's saying to him. Do you think we'll die? No, we're already dead. We'll just be double dead. Oh, well, that's all right then, isn't it? God, it's hell, isn't it? Yes, war is hell. We're in hell. Right, let's get in. Let's go fucking get in that mud. Unfortunately, with these medieval battles, they were very short-lived. Apparently, they were over with within an hour. Like the Battle of Agincourt was over by dinner time because most people were dead. And the British, apparently only a small force, literally battered a huge force of the French. So it's the nature of medieval battlery. But you fall over in the mud, you're fucking dead. Yeah, you're slurping mud, not air. So there's that. Try breathing on mud, guys. Fucking up. So we got the Prussians here with their imperial flaggage. So the Germans have come down to have a little bit of fisticuffs in the Middle Ages with French. Yeah, we fight in your general direction, which is what they do basically. Fight in your general direction. Look at what they got on. They look like the immortals of Xerxes' army. They got these bird face armor things on. Mad. And castles on the backs of elephants. Yeah, like Hannibal. I wouldn't fancy my chances on the back of a mini elephant. That's fucking stupid. Big elephant, yeah. Hang on. How big are elephants? So how fucking big are these? Tarat. Send the giants in, I bet. Yeah, here we go. Deal's going down. Sire, we've brought you this gold and our hearts. All we ask is you leave our kingdom in peace. He's like, oh yeah, I'll take your gold. Nice one. And then it's like, well, I must say, it was bloody nice of them to give us all that gold, wasn't it? It's like, yeah, awfully nice of them. This business is tough world in business world. You should try your fucking YouTube sometimes. So, yeah, medieval campment. Camped outside. This is a siege. This is what's known as a siege. Don't worry. We'll put ladders up later and they'll push the ladders over. That lasts about 6 months before we actually realise that is not a working strategy. We build a siege tower. They seem to work a lot better. Yeah, on the medieval battlefield. God, they were golden days. Yeah, you ain't lived until you've had an hour on the medieval battlefield. Here's Caesar. He's a grumpy old bastard, but he's a ruler. And I don't mean like a thing to rule or write lines with. So here they are, the Phoenicians or whoever they are with their spiky hats, just arrived on a boat. They've got some weapons going on. What's going on their sail? Some strange language. The sky looks like it hasn't been rendered yet. So it's like 13th floor. It is all grid patterned. This is what the sky actually looked like before the world was rendered. It was on the way to being rendered. They say the 7th day God finished rendering the earth. I think days are longer. So, the king is taken to an Arab. Okay, to an Ottoman. And he's like, have you got anything to give me? So I've only got some stuff that I took off another 2 gentlemen that are not around anymore. Yes, I sent them. Don't kill the envoys. So who are they worshipping? Yes, I am of a crook, or I mean, this is a crook. I mean, a staff, and we are worshipping these this month. Weren't we worshipping? What was his name? Jesus. It's like, no, we're not doing that this month. This month it's these 3. Forget about that other one. These are better, stronger, more magic, more money. Oh right, okay. All hail the 3. Anyway, medieval battlefields, they suck. But in a way, they rock. Both at the same time. Blood and guts. The screams of the dying. Then gut-wrenching primeval moments as the intestines get caught around your foot. Then back to the encampment to discuss it. Wow. I wonder what the sky will look like. Is that what it's called? Yes, I think it's going to be called the sky, according to the manual of reality. The sky. Oh, I like it. What does it mean? It means that they're going to put something up here that's going to be different to what it looks like now. I can't wait myself. It's going to trip you out when you see that sun and the moon. Wait, do you see the sun and the moon and the sky renders? Okay. Right, king, I haven't got much shit. He's a green king. He's a green king. They're all right, these green kings. I notice they don't do too much to smell my finger, but he has got a lot of maidens. 3 maidens, 4 maidens. So that's nice, isn't it? The Mormons, yeah, they're in America and they can do bigamy. They can have like shit ton of wives. Fucking mad, isn't it? Can you imagine more than one? Fucking hell. Your life must be hell. No offense to women, like, it's like I love women. People are horrible all the time, and they literally are mothers and they nurture us and they're beautiful and fluffy and everything. But oh, fucking hell, there's our time in this place. I've noticed that, especially the pretty ones. Fucking hell, they have our time. They're always dragged down by other people because, you know, they like the carve up the pretty girl. So is the nature of the schoolyard. It's funny thing, psychology, isn't there? But anyway, I'm a big believer in karma. Look, see what I mean? Fucking hell. Women serial killers, they're definitely the worst. Because they're quite surprising, aren't they? You know, it's like, God, you're lush. You're not going to do anything with that life, are you? Oh, shit. So I'm sure they're very few and far between. Not sure. Sure they're all psychos. Look at his hair. He's doing a smell my finger, or is he doing fucking look at his hair? He is looking at the hair and he's pointing at his hair. It is shocking, isn't it? Look at him. He's looking down at his hair. Well, there's bad hair days and there's bad hair days, isn't there? It's like saying, I'm the king. Can you comb your hair? Happy hat. So, yeah, it's called, let's give you the name of this map in case you're interested. Oh, I read so much stuff down these days. It's just... Okay, it is the bollocks. It was a foreign name. Anyway, this is the god of the time. So it's somebody with a parting in the middle and a shield hiding things. Oh, the sky's starting to render. What are they? I don't know. Will it harm us? They're breathing fire. I doubt it. Oh, look what he got here. I don't know. They're dressed absolutely immaculately, aren't they? He's got a letter for the king. I wouldn't touch our letter. It might have writing on it. I'd get one of your food tasters to check it out. I wouldn't touch anything of the rabble. Get them mining. Yeah, these are literally from the enemy forces, because you're going to get them working down the quarry and down the mine. But check how the knights are dressed. So I wonder why knights are called knights and not days. Make much more sense, wouldn't it, really? I don't know. What do I know anyway? I know that I know what I know. I don't know. So 664 of you. I hope you did enjoy this show. I hope you did enjoy the many, many beautiful things. And my hypothesis at the beginning with the maps and the clues that would suggest that Ottoman influence and definitely massive coincidence. So the Ottomans the biggest slave importers in the world, and America's full of slaves, but they have no connection. Yeah, right. Okay. Right, let's give you a bit of shoutages. That's that Rachel Osborne's in the house. Thank you, Rachel. And Lisa. So, you feeling all lovely and fluffy? Light? Like you've done something really good with your life? Yeah? Well, I hope you do, because that's my intent. Which is where a lot of people used to live in the old days. In tents. Funny that. They mockingly saved my life in a hospital. What? I don't want to go there. Froth unknown. Good to see you. Glad you were here. Hyperactive man. Yeah, I was hyperactive, terribly so. And now I'm losing energy levels. Now I'm down to normal human being levels, which is first time in my life. Crazy. Oh, thank you. Dankeschön. And hippie shake. Mr. Mina. I love that. That's really clever. No, he never did it. He never did it. He wasn't there. He didn't do it. He's square. Dragon Sage. Good to see my brother Chris. So if you are new to this channel, you're probably wondering why your head is so splattered. Well, this is what we do around here. Okay, we do decoding. We've got a think tank. And it is an ongoing, actually, there's a chronology to Flaterday British backlog of work, which is thousands of videos and books and everything that we've been doing for years and years and years and years and years, which has been amazing. So what are you saying? Basie. Okay, keeping the light. 10cc. I'm not in love. That didn't go the way the song before. Best one at 10cc, I think, is Dreadlock Holiday. I like it. I want it. I'll take it off your hands and you'll be sorry. You crossed me. Better understand you're a long way from home. Dreadlock Holiday. Fantastic. I love 10cc. That's about Spunk. Did you know that? They're back. Godly and Cream out of 10cc. They've done a tour last year. They're back. Godly and Cream. What a fucking name. But they were really good. I'll give them that. Free Soul Hippie. I would never knock 10cc. Thank you, Dimps. You very nice of you to say. And hippie doing whatever she does. Even Superman gets to go on holiday. Well, spring's coming, isn't it? I'm going to the Flat Earth International Flat Earth, where I'm going to talk about Tartaria. Long live Tartaria, savior of humanity. I love envisioning Tartaria anyway, because the way I see it is part of the ethos of this is if you envision the world the way you want it, or the way it was, and you just see that envision in your mind, that awesome world, then that is the world that will come, and not the world that they want you to envision, then that will come. Does that even make sense? Hope so. Professor of Nada. Could the population reset start? The population baby farm? Don't know. I don't know anything today. I'm on another subject today, talking about the American Civil War. Can't do it. Chileans, laundry. I don't know. It's just there's just too many questions. I can't do that. My head's tight. We talk for hours. Look at my videos. I got loads. It's all on there. People keep asking me questions. I'm like, I just links them at one of my videos because all the answers are usually back there in my backlog of videos. Thank you, Mel. Thank you, Seema. Oh, it's really awesome. Miles. Keep vividness. So let me have a look. I've been talking since 8 o'clock. It is nearly 11 o'clock. I've been talking for 3 hours, have I? Shit, time flies when you're having fun. Can't believe that. And I got quite a bit more to actually share. I'm going to be back in a day or two. Like I said, I got videos and some new decodes. Can't do it all in one go because that was 3 hours. Benjamin. Hold space for beauty. Long live Tartaria. I love that. Thank you for that. Yes. Envision a beautiful world, and that's the world we will see. A world of where you don't have to pay no bills. A world of being able to do what you want to do with your consciousness. Whatever your consciousness is talented at, you'll be able to do and be brilliant at it. That's what this realm should be. Controlled and do what they want you to do. Tommy. Samuel S. Icky vibe. Don't icky vibe us, man. Scott Lees. It's like throwing shit on the windows. Crafty Kim. No, it really is. Vivian. Flipping love it. Flipping yeah. Flipping heck vibes. Try not to my laptop up. Right, thank you, Abhishek. Thank you, Cram. Dealer Cram. Life is amazing, full stop. There you are. You've got to have a good you've got the right attitude. Yeah. If people say, oh, it's shit in it. Well, yeah, it's shit because you think it's fucking shit. That's why you live in a shit realm. That's how it works, this place. All is mind, remember? Yeah. Whatever you think in here, yeah, happens out there. I can guarantee that's what's happening, guys. I've been here too long to know that it's not true. I mean, in patterns as well, like replicating patterns. This place recognizes your patterns and stuff. It's just craziness. I've getting it down in my Brian, how to navigate the matrix at long last. April Kitten, living the positive vibes. Well, if you think about it from a intellectual standpoint, that is the best strategy. Yeah, my mother always said to me, Matt, you cry alone. You laugh, the world laughs with you. So I was like, yeah, that makes perfect fucking sense. Okay, I'll just laugh then. Yeah. Best channel on YouTube right here. So where is everybody? And not everyone's cup of tea though, because most people are into that mainstreamy stuff, and I'm a bit too much for it, for them, a lot of people. But, you know, I offer my research, take it or leave it. I think it's makes a lot of sense to me anyway, what I just proposed. Well, I wouldn't put it right if I didn't. Machiavelli. Kelly, oh fucking hell, pain. Professor Nada. After the repost of my Noah's Ark video, I want to pin Noah's Ark. Oh, excuse me. Leave it to the beaver. Oh, you're in New Zealand. God, all that way away. It's amazing. You're so far away, yet so close. And you got Edinburgh. Bloody Scotland in the house. I'm Celt too. I'm Celtic too. We're the Celtic people. Wizards and mystics. The mother wouldn't like it. I think my mother would be happy with me right now. I hope so. As soon as my family died, I stopped being a shit and stopped being naughty with my life. Well, being a shit, I mean treating myself, starting to treat myself right. Because I thought they would be watching me and frowning upon me. So after that, I got my shit together. Which is crazy because you'd think I'd like you hear a lot of people going the other way after tragedies and grief, but I didn't. Brian, I was stronger than I thought. Brian Dittmar and Earth, the space thing. Space. Do you know what? Space sucks you off because it's a vacuum. Laurie, all of you wonderful people here. Right, let's read lovely Laurie's curious squizzles. Be excellent to one another. I think I heard that on a movie. Be happy. Much love. Hugs and all that. Okay. So yeah, big communal hugs with your crutches. Who doesn't like a big hug? Okay. Thank you, Matthew's titis. You got tit in it. Okay. Thank you, Hippie, for linking up all my other things and stuff. So yeah, you can find all the information you need to know about Flat Earth British. I have been considering whether or not to get a hall and do a spring meetup. Everyone keeps asking me, but we'll have to see how that goes because, well, I did the last ones in the winter and it was like, fuck, hard work, especially for the people that traveled in that terrible bloody weather. Okay. Don't advert me, man. Okay. I'm going to be Yes, Nora, it's trippy because that's what we do here. Look at my backdrop. Oh, thanks, Dragon Sage, for buying both my books. So that's my last word. Funny, you know, that video was from 2019, and they have reset us since then. So, they are currently on doing. So definitely nailed that. So yeah, thanks everybody. If you want to see more decodes like this and more mind-blowing stuff, make sure to subscribe to this channel, okay? And like this video if you did like this video, and all them YouTube groovy things. I do appreciate you all being here, spending your time on a Saturday, prime time on YouTube. Let's keep the positivity going, okay? And not let icky things happen to us. I don't. I've got like, my wings are like a shield of steel. I've got this like aura of protection around me. It's really groovy and very beautiful. Love my books. Thank you, Vibes. Thank you. Yes, that's right. I'm an author as well. My decodes. If you want to find out about the Four Angels and the fasces and everything, that book there, Holy Grail of Flat Earth, is the book for you. So true. Catch yourself. We turn it all around. We do. Catch ourselves. We turn it all around. That's right. We do. And if she's bad one day, just give it a minute, because the next day, everything can turn around. My mother always said to me, sorry to quote my mother, but she was, now I'm older, I was like, fuck me, she knew everything. There's always something around the corner, she used to say. You know, when things were bad, it was like, I always held that in my heart. And it was like, fuck me, she wasn't wrong. It's all working out. Fucking. So I just use that mantra, if it always works out for me. And it does. That's why. Positive thinking. Mind power. Mind over matter. I don't mind, and it don't matter. Martin, your finger, red number, one finger. Beep, beep, Lee. Way too late in the day for that, mate. It's nearly midnight, yeah? That's been a long day for me. Simone Willowbrook. Nothing beats Flaterdays for me this last year. I'm glad you enjoy them. We do have a giggle, don't we? Yeah. And you can get, there's a lot of stuff in this you would never have ever seen before if you hadn't watched Flat Earth British. So there's that. Thanks again, Mel. Thank you. Thanks again. Okay, I gotta go. Can't do this eternal bow forever. Hey, thanks, Tone. You told me to go away last week. Number. I'm not, I don't math, bro. I don't know about things. I do history. Somehow it always works out, Annie says. There you go. Thank you, Annie. That's the mindset to have, really. You know, people are like, hopelessness. What's the fucking point? It's not going to fucking end. Well, fucking good luck with that mentality. I bet life would be a right fucking hoot. Fuck that shit. I don't think everything's going to have a brilliant world to be fucking groovy. That's what I'm going to think. I don't want to think any other way, guys. Why would you? When you know how this reality works. Do you know what I mean? Thank you, Maria. I've got really juicy images. I get them off my own resource. I don't even use Google. I get them all off me. It's brilliant. Just wonderful thoughts. Everything will be wonderful. Okay. Human resource. Kay Jorgensen, Human Resource Director. Tara Payne. Imagine all the people living side by side in harmony. Fucking too good, huh? We stopped arguing flat or round. Okay, yeah, I'm not in that debate anyway. My mind was made up donkey years ago. If people want to go on about it, then go on about it all they want. In fact, people can say whatever they want about anything. That's the nature of this place. You do you, boo. I'm doing me. I'm going with what I experienced. I'm sharing it with you. That's the whole idea of Flat Earth British. It's the real experience. Get to share my weird fucking ass existence with you. I had to have my friend Martin fixed today. There you are. So you've had your Martin Flaticus fixage. I need food as well, Scott. I'm fucking starving. I'm going to rip into some snackage now as soon as I get off here. Dale Johnson. Bless you, man. Big time hippie. Giddem. Thank you for being here. And everybody, I got to go. Oh, my back. It's fuck. wiggly, squiggly flat firms, and I will see you in a couple of days. Make sure to do all the groove things like share this video. Okay, I definitely think it's definitely shareable. I have any swearing or anything. So have a good weekend, guys. See you soon.